All available right now when you go to youtube.com/@BustedOpenPodcast. Subscribe right now.
Nobody covers the National Football League like SiriusXM NFL Radio.
Mahomes fires it late for the end zone. Caught! Touchdown!
Stay updated with the latest news leading up to training camps.
We don't care about expectations. Talk doesn't win games.
Our panel of experts is getting you ready for the 2024 season.
The more I watch this guy, the more I like him.
There's a story for every team on SiriusXM NFL Radio Channel 88 in the car and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
The Blue Jays are in flight, leading 3-0.
Blue Jays fans, this is Ross Atkins, and you're listening to Blue Jays Baseball on SiriusXM.
Right field, way back, way gone!
Is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Low rounding and heading for second to throw. In time!
On the Sportsnet Radio Network.
From NL Central leaders to AL Central leaders. After a nail-biting series loss to the Brewers to start the week, the Blue Jays welcome the Cleveland Guardians to town for a 3-game set. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight. I'm Ben Schulman alongside former Major League catcher Caleb Joseph. Show Ali is our host and producer, and Tom Young and Andrew Adams are our technical directors. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by the local family-owned Crown Rust Control Centers. Tomorrow is Wash for a Wish Day at participating Crown locations across the country. Every year, Crown centers across Canada hand-wash vehicles for $10, with 100% of the proceeds going to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Canada. Crown invites you to get your vehicle washed tomorrow and help make a difference for the critically ill children across Canada. Find your local family-owned Crown at crown.com. Canada's #1 rust protection. Game 1 of Guardians and Blue Jays is next on Sportsnet.ca, the Sportsnet app, and across the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Not tomorrow, not someday. The home improvements begin today. It's game on with Timber Mart. Build that deck, raise that fence, landscape till your property is beautiful. Don't pay for 12 months on the Timber Mart Deferred Payment Program. Your locally owned, completely Canadian hub of building and renovation expertise. Get your Timber Mart credit card at participating locations.
Hey, baseball fans. Thanks for being here for another Toronto Blue Jays game. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. You see that 25K up there? The push is on for 25,000 subscribers. The growth we've seen over this past 6 to 7 months has been absolutely insane, and all the credit goes to you. I just provide the platform. You guys are in the chat, blowing it up, making it happen. Thank you all for doing that, game in and game out. Let's keep it up, and if you're new, jump in. Hit that subscribe button, and let's get on the road to 25K, and let's get it done before the dog days of summer start in baseball. Cheers, everybody. We'll see you in the chat.
So when you gotta move, all moving day, think 2-minute truck.ca, cause all of us movers are not the same. So that's our company name, 2-minute truck.ca. We're lots of men with lots of trucks, so give us a call today.
Nobody covers the National Football League like SiriusXM NFL Radio.
Mahomes fires it late for the end zone. Caught! Touchdown!
Stay updated with the latest news leading up to training camps.
We don't care about expectations. Talk doesn't win games.
Our panel of experts is getting you ready for the 2024 season.
The more I watch this guy, the more I like him.
There's a story for every team on SiriusXM NFL Radio Channel 88 in the car and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
Blue Jays fans, after this game, get back to what's really important. Your fantasy football team. We're talking about it right now on Fantasy Sports Radio, Channel 87, and the SiriusXM app.
A little bit more versatility, in that spot. Can't say enough good things about Vogie and kind of the teammate that he is, professional that he is, and what he brought here. Tough to get, a runway for playing time, I think, for him. So excited to have Addy back up here and hopefully continue to do the things he was doing in Buffalo. But I think the versatility is kind of what played into it. I think you'll see him at third, you'll see him in right and left, probably against some right-handed pitching, obviously, when those guys are starting. And I think just being able to bounce around the diamond is something that we like too. He's played some short recently in Buffalo as well. But I think, right-handed starters, you'll see him somewhere on the corner of the diamond.
That was manager John Schneider speaking before the game about the move the Blue Jays made. They have let go of Daniel Vogelbach, the designated hitter. Addison Barger returns to the Blue Jays, although he's not in the lineup with the lefty on the mound for Cleveland today. Welcome back to downtown Toronto at Rogers Center. Logan Allen will take on Kevin Gausman in Game 1 of this 3-game series. I'm Ben Schulman alongside former Kevin Gausman catcher and teammate Caleb Joseph. And let's just start there, Caleb. Gausman on the mound. He's coming off his first career shutout. What are you looking for, and what have you seen recently from Gausman?
More of the same. Would love to see him kind of carry the zone with that splitter and then use it underneath. The Guardian lineup is going to be tough. They remind me a lot of Milwaukee's lineup, and there's kind of a little bit of everything inside that lineup. Would love to see how he uses the two-seamer, Gausman that is. Would really love to see 95 at the top of the zone and hold that sustainable. But anytime you're coming off of a complete game shutout, which was, as you just said, his first one, you kind of look early on and kind of see how the body's moving. He did have an extra days of rest, but you look and just see kind of how it looks right out the gate. If he looks like he's in a groove, hopefully it's just a continuation of that start in Oakland. But you'll keep a sharp eye on that as a catcher.
We definitely will as the first inning gets underway. Let's take a look at the lineups like you mentioned. First, for Stephen Vogt and the Cleveland Guardians, Stephen Kwan leads off, plays left field. Andres Jimenez plays second, bats second. The third baseman, Jose Ramirez, hits third. First baseman and Mississauga's own Josh Naylor cleans up. David Fry, the catcher, hitting fifth. Will Brennan, the right fielder, hits sixth. Daniel Schneemann, the center fielder, bats eighth. It's Brian Rocchio, the shortstop, hitting eighth, Schneemann bats seventh, and another Mississauga native in DH and younger brother of Josh, Bo Naylor, batting ninth. The lefty Logan Allen starts for Cleveland. John Schneider's team leads off with the left fielder Davis Schneider. Catcher Danny Jansen hits second. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. bats third, plays first. Bo Bichette is the shortstop. He'll hit fourth. Justin Turner, the DH, hits fifth. George Springer, the right fielder, bats sixth. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa is the second baseman, hitting seventh. Dalton Varsho, the lone lefty in the lineup, plays center, hits eighth. And Ernie Clement plays the hot corner and bats ninth. Kevin Gausman about to start. And just before we start as well, we'll take a look at the Bet365 standings. At Bet365, you can watch thousands of live games, build your own bet, can even make a bet while the game's still being played. 19-plus, play responsibly, Ontario only. Yankees lead the AL East at 49-22. Baltimore right behind them, 45-23. Boston is in third, 35-34. Blue Jays in fourth at 33-35. And Tampa Bay behind Toronto at 33-36. The Cleveland Guardians are 43-23, leading the AL Central. You had already alluded to it a bit, Caleb. This is a handful of a lineup for Gausman to make his 14th start of the year against.
Yep, looking for early outs, early contact. Strike one, so important for Kevin Gausman. We know that's kind of been his MO as a Blue Jays, getting ahead and then being able to expand. He's kind of got that two-seamer that he's using now. He's activating the slider a little bit more. It's fun to watch his kind of transformation from a flamethrower into a really specific fastball split guy. I wonder if he's kind of transitioning back into more of a pitcher and using all of these different pitches. Of course, he's going to lean on the four-seamer and the split, but looking for those two-seamers and sliders to really keep him off balance all night.
The development of Gausman into a pitcher. It's funny you say that. Chris LaRue is on a well-deserved vacation right now. Constantly uses that term with Gausman, who enters today 5-4, a flat 4 ERA, 69 strikeouts and 16 walks in 69 2/3 innings. He's getting his warm-ups in. Blue Jays in their baby blues today, and Stephen Kwan is walking up to the plate for Cleveland. The first inning about to start. It's brought to you by Armstrong Bird Food. Bring nature to your backyard with Armstrong, feeding Blue Jays since 1986. Visit ArmstrongBirdFood.com. So the Blue Jays in baby blues, road grays for the Cleveland Guardians, and Kwan, the left-handed hitting left fielder, steps in. Beautiful day in downtown Toronto. Blue skies, over 30 today in the city. Gausman stepping onto the rubber, adjusts his cap, comes set at the belt, bouncing on his front left foot. He kicks and fires. Fouled off on the first pitch, off the catcher Jansen, 0-1. Time of the first pitch today, 7:08 Eastern. Like I said, sunny skies, although shade covering the diamond at Rogers Center. It's still 22 degrees Celsius, 71 Fahrenheit. As Kwan steps out, he asks for time. He's back in. Two-tone bat for the left-handed hitter. Light handle, dark barrel. 0-1. Outside. Early on, Caleb, we've seen one fastball, we've seen one splitter. The fastball was a little bit down in terms of velocity, high 80s, low 90s to start. Only 2 pitches in, though. Here's the 1-1. Just off the plate inside with a fastball, 2-1.
I think Kevin really liked what Justin Verlander would do in terms of starting off slow and kind of building up and finishing as strong as he can. Might be transitioning into that.
2-1 is lined to right field, hooking toward the corner, down in fair territory, bouncing into the wall. Springer races over there to pick it up. Kwan's into second with a leadoff double. Stephen Kwan has been one of, if not the best hitter in the American League. He has been by average this year, and he starts off the game with an extra base hit.
It's just one of those pesky leadoff hitters that is going to make you throw it over the plate. Was probably the benefactor of a borderline 2-1 pitch that would have really swung the count. He gets a pitch up out over the plate and just hooks it right down the left field line with his speed. Automatic double.
10th double of the year for Kwan. Leading off second, the pitch to Andres Jimenez. Swing and a miss. Strike one. Already the fastball up a couple miles per hour as there's a little bit of trouble here now in the first. That one up to 91. No score, no outs, top of the first. Gausman's pitch. Fouled back, 0-2. Jimenez, another left-handed hitter for the Guardians. They are not going to give Gausman many looks at righty swingers. 2 switch hitters, 6 left-handed hitters, and 1 righty in this lineup. 0-2 in the dirt. I don't know that there are a lot of teams that have 6 left-handed hitters, pure left-handed hitters, on their roster, let alone can put them in one lineup.
Gives manager Stephen Vogt an option to kind of line change, too, given there are righties on the bench.
Next pitch, Jimenez spoils off a splitter way down and away, drops into the seats. Foul, 1-2.
And what that does as a pitcher, you're so used to kind of having those right-handers built in there. You're almost not used to being into a rhythm on one side of the plate. You're used to throwing pitches on the other side of the plate to counteract that right-left balance. And so when you get this amount of lefties, you should be able to really lock in on a certain zone and pitch.
Next pitch is a 94-mile-per-hour fastball, hit foul again. The only right-handed hitter that Gausman will see today is due up 5th for the Guardians. It's the catcher, David Fry. Runner on second is Stephen Kwan, nobody out. The pitch to Andres Jimenez. Bouncing ball sent softly up the middle, backhanded by the second baseman, IKF. Throws falling away to first to make the play. Kwan advances from second to third. There's one out. Not an easy play there for the Gold Glover at third in 2020, IKF.
Yeah, I think what's so impressive as you watch IKF night in, night out is his internal clock. And what I mean by that plays ranging him to his right. There is speed in Jimenez, but he just doesn't rush, takes his time, has a good transfer, throws off bounce, throws a strike to Vladdy. Very nice pro play.
Here's Jose Ramirez, switch hitter batting left, takes the first pitch outside, 1-0. Stephen Kwan's on third, top of the first inning, 1 out, no score. And Ramirez, one of the best in baseball, is batting right now. He's a .273 hitter this year, 18 homers. Infield in, 1-0. Swing and a miss. Got him out in front on a splitter, and he evens up the count at 1-1.
All those years trying to call pitches against Ramirez, I always felt the straight changeup was a very dangerous pitch, but I really liked the split action against him. Unique that they're both kind of the same speed, but different actions.
1-1 in the dirt, 2-1. What about the split?
Yeah, well, I think he sees it and he wants to release on it, and he does. He hits the changeup, straight changeup pretty well, but does struggle against the split. It just got that late downward action that I think fools him for some reason.
Ramirez with the bat high above his left shoulder, awaits the 2-1 and hits a fastball a mile, but foul down the right field line, 2-2. Well, he was looking fastball there. He turned on 94.
Yeah, he's one of those hitters that the minute you think you have him set up, he just has such a way of defending himself against an up-and-in fastball. He's really good at hitting medium speed in the zone that kind of doesn't finish, nestling kind of down towards the bottom, which I like. The split is because it does look like it's going to nestle and darts right out of the zone.
2-2. Down and away with the splitter. Ramirez watched it all the way. He lays off. Full count. Hard to believe Ramirez was a late international signing. Most signed at 16. He signed a year later at 17 years old for $50,000 to Cleveland in 2009. 3-2. Swing and a miss. He got him on a low splitter. There are 2 down. That is just what Gausman needed. He keeps Quan at third for now and has a chance to get out of the inning unscathed.
Yeah, one thing that I noticed about Gausman's outing in Oakland was the downward action that he had on that split finger. And this 2-strike pitch to Ramirez had that exact downward action. It's looking like it's a strike. It's right over the plate, but just dives right below the hitting zone.
So Quan on third, 2 down. The pitch to Josh Naylor is a fastball for called strike 1. Doug Eddings, the home plate up. Chad Whitson, the first base umpire. Crew chief Bill Miller at second. Malachi Moore at third. And first baseman out of St. Joan of Arc in Mississauga, Josh Naylor at the plate, batting left. Second on the Guardians to Ramirez with 17 homers. 0-1 pitch, broken bat, chopper to second. IKF backs up, picks it up, throws to first, and ends the inning. A leadoff double for Stephen Kwan, but Gausman strands him on third. Scoreless game as the Blue Jays hit for the first time in the bottom of the first against Logan Allen. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Bring it in, Canada. When it comes to small business, Desjardins is a big fan. And not just the hop on the bandwagon fan. We're the in it for the long haul fan. The fan that's been there from the start. That's why Desjardins awarded 150 entrepreneurs with Good Spark grants worth $20,000 each. Because like any fan, there's nothing we love more than celebrating a goal!
See how Desjardins is cheering on small business at goodsparkgrants.ca.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. That's why we introduced in-game betting. Because when the game starts, the action doesn't stop. With in-game betting, you can wager on game props, player props, totals, and the money line. And remember, in-game, you can track your same-day parlay with the option to cash out. Check out in-game betting and find out why. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
Must be 19 years or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Fastball hit to center field. Varsho with a dive, and he makes the catch.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Bottom of the first inning in downtown Toronto. Game 1, Guardians and Blue Jays. Logan Allen, the lefty, into the wind. First pitch outside and high to Davis Schneider, 1-0. Welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Caleb Joseph, 1-0. Swing and a fly ball hit a mile high to shallow left center. Coming in, Daniel Schneemann will call off the left fielder Kwan and make a one-handed catch. 1 out. 14th start of the year for Logan Allen. 6-3 in ERA, just above 5.5. 54 strikeouts, 23 walks, and 64 2/3 innings. He enters today as the major league leader in home runs allowed with 14. 1 out. Here's Danny Jansen, left on right pitch. Called strike 1. For Allen, it's a low 90s four-seam fastball, a changeup, a cutter, and a sweeper. 0-1 pitch, high, 1-1. What do you see when you look at a guy like Allen so far?
Good hitting. Honestly, if I'm being really honest.
Pop up by Jansen on the 1-1. Back of the plate. Getting rid of his mask, Fry. Over near the on-deck circle of Cleveland. Makes the catch. 2 down.
Those are the type of the lefties that I was itching to get out there against. Not overpowering. You know, there's a little bit of trickery there. You got 4 pitches. You're going to have to try and eliminate something. But when I see the fastball in the 90-91 range, that was about what I could handle. You get up there 97, 98, not so good.
Here's the first pitch to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Bounced off the glove of the pitcher, Allen. Picked up at second by Jimenez. He throws to first and ends the inning. A quick 1-2-3 for the lefty starter. No score after 1, Cleveland and Toronto. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The Stanley Cup Final is on Sirius XM. Can the Florida Panthers capture their first cup?
Down to Reinhart. Back in front. Deflection. They score. The Panthers tie it at 2.
Or will the Edmonton Oilers end Canada's 3-decade-long Stanley Cup drought?
Edmonton wins the game. It's Connor McDavid.
Hear the home and away broadcast of every game on Sirius XM in the car and on the all-new Sirius XM app. And talk about the quest for the cup on NHL Network Radio, Channel 91.
The South Carolina Gamecocks are on top of the women's college basketball world yet again.
Perfection for South Carolina. 38 games, 38 wins.
We're reacting to the perfect season and talking to the biggest names right here on Channel 374.
Congratulations, Coach Saley. What does this particular title mean to you?
This title is pretty special because it was unexpected.
Keep it locked into SiriusXM SEC Radio as we continue to break it all down and celebrate the Gamecocks' 3rd national title.
You love listening to baseball. You love talking about baseball, and so do we. That's why SiriusXM has the only channel on the radio dedicated to baseball 24/7. It's MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 89. News, opinions, passionate baseball talk from former players and GMs, plus interviews with players, managers, and executives, original specials, and much, much, much more. All baseball, every day, on your radio. If you can hear me right now, you've got MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 89, and on the SiriusXM app.
Fantasy Sports Radio is helping you win whichever fantasy sport you play. Right now on Channel 87 and on the all-new Sirius XM app.
David Fry leads off for the Guardians as we get underway in the 2nd inning at Rogers Center. No score, Blue Jays and Guardians. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Caleb Joseph. Thanks so much for spending your night with us. Here's the right-on-right pitch. Fastball freezes Fry, strike 1. Mentioned it in the first, this will be the only right-on-right matchup Gausman gets tonight, barring a pinch hitter. 3 right-handed hitters on the bench for Stephen Vogt. The 0-1. Fry swings and misses at a splitter low. And it's 0-2. Catcher's been a breakout start for Cleveland this year. .321 hitter, 8 homers in 40 games. 0-2. Oh, and that is a tough one. Doug Eddings says ball. That one certainly looked like a strike on the splitter, Caleb.
Not characteristic of Doug Eddings either. I had him multiple times as a player. Very generous strike zone typically.
1-2. Outside with the heater. What kinds of things could a Danny Jansen be saying when a pitch like that goes by?
Yeah, you're going, hey, that's where do you have that? And he's probably going to say, that's out. And you're going, okay, I think that's a good pitch. Let's take a second look at that one.
2-2 down low. Full count, and all of a sudden a count that could have been over is full.
Yep, and I will say that was a split finger. Danny set up middle, slightly shaded to the inner half of the plate. It was pulled. And so as a catcher, you're thinking moving the opposite direction to block. He did have to reach over a little bit. Maybe that factored in.
3-2 pitch, hit off the fist, foul off to the right side. A couple of birds down there in foul territory. Get out of the way. Still 3-2. I didn't even see them there. All of a sudden,
no, I didn't either. That was they were just hanging out on the field and totally interrupted by the foul ball of Fry. But I think they found a new home on a wire now.
Yeah, they're perched up. 3-2 is popped up near short. Bo Bichette walk it in. And now step to the left and make the catch. 1 down. Second inning is presented by Bet365. At Bet365, You can bet live in-game on game props, totals, and the money line. Download the app and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 19 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. Birds have relocated again. They're on the third base side to get a better look at the left-handed hitting Will Brennan. 1 out, bases empty. The pitch is smoked to right field. Springer going back at the track, turns, it's off the top of the wall. Brennan tears around first. He'll head into second with a first pitch double. Will Brennan caught a first pitch four-seamer over the heart of the plate, and he almost hit it out.
Yep, 102 miles off the bat. Just an ambush kind of catch him out front, buggy whip type of swing early on. And sometimes when you're not wanting to face that split finger, you go up there as a hitter and say, you know what, I'm going to try and ambush early. Brennan got it, didn't miss the pitch.
So runner on second, Daniel Schneemann, the rookie, up. First pitch fastball for a strike, 0-1. By the way, and then I'll stop talking about it, the Birds went to right field as the ball flew over there. They're sitting near George Springer in the right field corner.
Yes.
Checking out the mark on the wall. A look at second by Gausman, 0-1. Is lined to left field. This is trouble. It's down in the gap and bouncing past the glove of Schneider onto the track. Brennan in to score. Up to second, Schneemann. It's his second career double, third career RBI, and the Guardians are up 1-0.
Double to right field on a first pitch fastball. This is a linea to left center off of a hanging split. Doesn't really get to the bottom. And Schneider in left field's trying to cut this ball off, but it's hit so hard. 102 miles an hour off the bat. He's trying to cut it off, and it just beat him. And so an easy stand-up double.
Brian Rocchio to the plate, swings at the first pitch he sees and pops it up to shallow center. Bichette going back, called off by the sprinting Dalton Varsho, who reels it in, 2 down. 1-0 Guardians, runner on second, and 2 outs, top of the second inning. You mentioned that was a hanging slider, and one thing Stephen Vogt, who has faced Kevin Gausman, played just 2 years ago and now manages the Guardians. He mentioned you got to try and get Gausman up. The further up he is in terms of his pitches in the zone, the better shot you're going to have at hitting him. Number 9 hitter, Mississauga's own Bo Naylor up. First pitch fastball, called strike 1. And there, you mentioned the big strike zone of innings, probably a gift for Gausman as that looked off the plate outside.
Yep. Good frame by Danny. Sticking it right there. Presenting the pitch well.
The 0-1. Foul back, 0-2.
Yeah, you talked about Vogt saying get Gausman up. Some people might wonder, like, what exactly does that mean? It means you raise your sight level at where you're looking at the ball coming out. Of course, you're not trying to swing at balls down, but you raise it up.
0-2 pitch, down and away, 1-2.
So that as it comes out of the hand into the window, it's higher than your normal one. So if you stay in that window and he releases the split, you know that one's going to finish below. You try and raise the window of where he releases the ball so that that one finishes in the hitting zone.
The 1-2. Went downstairs again with a splitter, a sharp one at 87. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Because if you're trying to make that decision as the ball's crossing the home plate, it's too late. You're going to already make a move. So you're trying to use the arm angles and windows to get him up.
Gausman peeks at second, pitches home. Swing and a foul off just under our feet to the left.
Don't worry, Tom Young. I would have had you. That one was kind of close, Ben.
It was. Well, if you look behind you, there's a little bit of a dent in the desk.
Oh, this year?
Not this year, I will say. I haven't been tested yet. I don't have you, Tom Young. I really don't. 2-2 again. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 95 in on the hands. A second strikeout for Gausman today. Ends the top of the second. Guardians on the board, though. A pair of doubles. Brennan, then Schneemann. Makes it 1-0 Cleveland, middle of 2. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep. Because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
So Blue Jays fans, you want to know about salsa? Salsa is more than dancing. It's more than music. Salsa is the passion and spirit that is at the core of the beautiful cultures of Latin America. The Blue Jays are bringing salsa to the ballpark on June 27th. Be one of the first 15,000 fans in attendance and receive a Blue Jays chip and dip bowl. Celebrate salsa and create core memories with your Blue Jays. It's salsa night. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com. Right, Vladdy?
Everybody salsa.
Not tomorrow, not someday. The home improvements begin today. It's game on with Timber Mart. Build that deck, raise that fence, landscape till your property is beautiful. Don't pay for 12 months on the Timber Mart deferred payment program. Your locally owned, completely Canadian hub of building and renovation expertise. Get your Timber Mart credit card at participating locations and pay later. 12 months later. Conditions apply. Ask in store for details or apply at timbermart.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Bichette powers the ball to left field. Going back, Peralta. It's out of here.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Bo Bichette in the box. Bottom of the second inning starts with a pitch in the zone from Logan Allen to make it 0-1. Welcome back to Rogers Center. I'm Ben Schulman. To my left is Caleb Joseph. 1-0 Guardians over Blue Jays as Bichette backs out of the way of a fastball inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bo hitting .240 on the season. 13 doubles, 4 homers. 1-1. Inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Blue Jays hitless against Allen in the first. Went down 1-2-3. 2-1 pitch. Bichette was taken all the way. He's looking out at the mound right now. I think Allen went a little bit quickly there, potentially, and Bo took a pitch down anyway, so now it's 3-1. Next offering, high ball 4. Bichette tosses the bat behind him. He's got a leadoff walk.
Yeah, we used to call that the statue, where the pitcher comes set, throws the pitch, and you just don't even move. No stride, no nothing. He statued the 2-1 breaking ball, and it was, I don't know, we're getting a replay of it now. It was, I don't know. I think he was ready. I just don't think that he thought he was going to challenge him.
So Bichette leading off first, and the pitch to Justin Turner. Called strike 1. Turner, the DH, batting .232, 12 doubles, 4 homers. Allen staring at Bichette. Kicks, delivers. Called strike 2. Lefty Allen's in his second season, 25 years old. Was a second rounder by the Guardians in 2020 out of Florida International University. 0-2. Check swing. Pitch was high. Appeal to first, no swing. 1-2. Bo in conversation right now with first base coach Mark Budzinski. Carlos Fablis, the third base coach. Bichette does have 4 stolen bases this year. 1-2 pitch, late swing, and Turner fights it off. That was the sweeper right at the bottom of the zone, and he sliced it off to the right.
Yeah, Turner has a knack for kind of spoiling good pitches. That was a really nice pitch at the bottom, just too close to take, but not one you really want to put in play.
1-2 again. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him on the high fastball, 1 down.
That's where we've seen Turner probably more vulnerable in the last 8 to 12 weeks, is that good velocity right at the top, locating right at the top. I know he looks for that pitch. If he can get out in front, start to establish he can hit that, he's going to look more like the Turner of the beginning of the season.
Step and throw over to first. Bichette races back standing. George Springer to the plate for the Blue Jays. 1-0 Guardians over Blue Jays. Bottom of the second inning with 1 out. Allen staring at Bo. He's got a healthy lead at first. The pitch to Springer. Down and in, ball 1. George hitting 198, 5 homers. Hit one of his 21 homers last year off of Logan Allen in Cleveland. 1-0. Down and in, 2-0. George steps out of the box now, puts his feet back in there, straight up in his stance, looking out at the lefty. Allen peeks at first, delivers home, and gets Springer with a backdoor breaking ball to make it 2-1. Allen sets above the belt. A breath, and the pitch. Swing and a fly ball foul into the seats. 2-2.
You look at speed separation. That fastball located on the inner half, 93 miles per hour. Breaking ball before that 13 mile an hour gap really plays massively.
Next pitch to Springer's 92 inside. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Especially when you're talking about the left-handed breaking ball backdoored to the right-handed hitter. It's slow. It's coming out of that way tunnel off to your right. It's sweeping back towards the middle, and you kind of see that. Your eyes track it. Then you get 93 inside. It's a bit of a jolt.
Step and throw over to first again. Bichette is back. That is the second disengagement of the plate appearance, so if Bo wants to get a little bit more aggressive, he can. If Allen were to throw over and not get Bo, it's a balk. 3-2. Down and in, ball 4. Allen went quickly there, maybe wary of Bichette, and he walks Springer to put 2 on with 1 out.
Yeah, that was a really nice at-bat by George. And sometimes when you're not having kind of the season that you want to have, it's easy to look at pitchers like Allen and really get into a rush. I thought the way that at-bat evolved, how many pitches he took, the foul balls he took, that's exactly what you're going to have to do against Allen, not be in a rush to get it over with. Wait him out, wait for that mistake, and then do your damage.
Blue Jays searching for their first hit, but with 1 out in the bottom of the second, have 2 on. Here's the pitch to IKF. Called strike 1. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa hitting .266 this year, 7 doubles, 4 homers. He's driven in 26 runs. 0-1 inside. Had a good road trip for the Blue Jays, including a career-high 5 RBIs in the finale against Oakland. Single-handedly beat the A's in Toronto's 6-4 win. 1-1. Swing and a bouncing ball hit up the middle. Gloved at short by Rocchio. Flips to second one. Throw to first in time for an inning-ending double play. 6-4-3, the Guardians turn it. And after 2 walks, the Blue Jays don't score. They leave 1 on and will go to the third with it being 1-0 Cleveland. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Hi, I'm Buck Martinez, live from the showdown between Pizza and inflation. First to the plate, Pizza's big hitter, fixed rate pizza. An extra large 4-topping pizza for a fixed price of $17.99 until the end of 2024. I dare say, folks, inflation stands no chance against this all-star. Here's the delivery. And inflation strikes out. That's a swing and a drive for fixed rate pizza. Lock in yours today.
Order pizza.ca.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. That's why we introduced in-game betting. Because when the game starts, the action doesn't stop. With in-game betting, you can wager on game props, player props, totals, and the money line. And remember, in-game, you can track your same-day parlay with the option to cash out. Check out in-game betting and find out why. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
Must be 19 years or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca.
Top of the third inning at Rogers Center. Stephen Kwan at the plate for the Guardians. Cleveland up 1-0. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Caleb Joseph. Kevin Gausman on the mound. Righty kicks and fires. Called strike 1. Kwan with a double in the first inning, stranded on third. Here's the 0-1 in the dirt. Stephen Kwan out of Oregon State. Won the national title with Adley Rutschman, Trevor Larnach, 1-1. Inside 2-1, Nick Madrigal. And of all the guys on that team, he was kind of the one people weren't paying as much attention to. A lot of power on that team. All those guys were first rounders. He was a fifth rounder by Cleveland. But after his single, he's hitting double. He's hitting 384 this year. He swings at the 2-1 and pops it up. Behind the plate, Jansen sheds the mask, standing on the Blue Jays logo, makes the catch. 1 out.
A great find in the 5th round for Cleveland. Those bat-to-ball skills, I think it's going to shift. I really do. I think that more teams are going to get really obsessed with the bat-to-ball skills and adjustability and swings now that pitchers are able to hit so many different zones with different types of pitches. Kwan, he's a throwback, but he might be ahead of the game, so to speak.
We saw a lot of that with Milwaukee. First pitch to Andres Jimenez is low, 1-0. When you got a Bryce Terang, that's not a high power bat. That's a, put it on the ground and leg it out from the left side kind of guy. Mm-hmm. The Brewers kind of hit ground balls 2 days ago on the way to their series win, beating the Blue Jays 5-4. 1-0 to Jimenez. Swinging a foul back.
And I don't think it's going to be 1 through 9, right? But I really think adjustability in swing and patterns, and I think it's becoming a process for the hitting side, as we know the pitching side has evolved so much in that respect.
Gausman kicks and fires, swinging a foul off, 1-2. By the way, we're just 1 week into this month-long Split the Pot raffle, and the grand prize is already over $450,000. That number is going to skyrocket over the next few series and will be evenly split among 10 winners. Get your tickets now at bluejays.com/5050 from Ontario or Nova Scotia. Base is empty, 1 out, top of the third, 1-0 Blue Jays, 1-0 Guardians, 1-2 pitch outside. Andres Jimenez, part of that blockbuster deal for Cleveland a couple years back, the 2021 trade where Francisco Lindor and Carlos Carrasco went to the Mets. 2-2 pitch hit in the air, down the left field line, sprinting over the third baseman Clement. It's down just past him, right near where that short retaining wall juts out. Davis Schneider was coming in as well, and luckily no one is hurt, although that ball landed in an unfortunate spot for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, absolutely. That's all I could see from our vantage point was Clement running to that corner, and that's a new part of the field, it seems, here at the renovated Rogers Center. Huge, massive pole holding up some of the netting, and Clement was running right towards it. The ball bounces probably, a foot or two in front of that pole. I could see collision written all over it the last second. Clement waved his hand to try and grab the ball and was able to avoid that pole.
2-2 again. Outside, ball 3. Very talented defender at the plate right now for Cleveland, and Andres Jimenez has won 2 Gold Gloves and a Platinum Glove. All at second base. 3-2. Lifted to shallow left. Clement, the third baseman, back out onto the turf. He'll make the catch. 2 down. This third inning is brought to you by the local family-owned Crown Rust Control Centers. Tomorrow is Watch for a Wish Day at participating Crown locations across the country. Every year, Crown Centers across Canada hand-wash vehicles for $10 with 100% of the proceeds going to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Canada. Crown invites you to get your vehicle washed tomorrow and help make a difference for critically ill children across Canada. Find your local family-owned Crown at crown.com, Canada's #1 rust protection. First pitch to Jose Ramirez, called strike 1. 2 outs and the base is empty. 1-0 Cleveland, top of the third. Ramirez, a switch hitter, batting left, struck out in the first. The 0-1. High and outside. He's not the biggest guy up there, Jose Ramirez, but he is imposing. He's driven in 62 runs this year, tied for the Major League lead with Aaron Judge. 1-1. Outside, 2-1.
Remember Albert Bell?
Oh, yeah.
Of course, a very thick, strong human, but Ramirez just kind of gives me Albert Bell type of feels. I don't know why.
2-1. Swing and a pop-up to the left, 2-2. But I think as Jose
stout, just
does not seem easy to move.
No,
if you were to try and move that guy.
Yes, like fire hydrant style sturdiness.
Listed at 5'9", 190. Ramirez, 31 years old, debuted pretty young. So although he's in his 12th season, he's kind of just getting into his 30s. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Got him on the splitters. Strike 3. A 1-2-3 third for Gausman. Varsho, Clement, and Schneider to hit in the bottom of the third inning with the Blue Jays trailing the Guardians 1-0. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
It's 24 hours of Le Mans.
They're waiting for the red light and the French tricolore to be waved, and we're racing at Le Mans.
And you can hear every thrilling moment on Sirius XM. For over 100 years, it's been one of motorsport's most prestigious and grueling tests of speed and endurance. We're bringing all 24 hours to you live as teams from around the world battle it out for one of the biggest prizes in racing. 24 hours of Le Mans, starting Saturday morning, 8:30 Eastern on Sirius 137 XM 202 and on the all-new Sirius XM app. Are you regretting eating that gas station hot dog? Yeah, we know. We've been there too. This is a message for baseball fans like you. Did you know that you get a channel that's talking baseball 24/7 as part of your Sirius XM subscription?
What?
Our lineup includes shows hosted by former big leaguers and executives. Plus, you'll hear from 17 managers each week. MLB Network Radio is on Sirius XM Channel 89. Or just search MLB Network Radio on the SXM app. Sirius XM Sports. We're more than just a game.
Hey everyone, it's Brian Geltzeiler from SiriusXM NBA Radio. The NBA draft begins on June 26th, and we're your home for all the action. Hear non-stop coverage on all our shows.
Mark it down. That guy is going to be a star in this league.
Exclusive interviews.
We are now joined by Bronny James.
I just found happiness in what I'm doing right now, and I feel like that's where I want myself to be at.
And every pick on the big night.
With the first pick.
Your home for the 2024 draft is NBA Radio, Channel 86, and the all-new Sirius XM app. Just search NBA Radio.
In season or out of season, the number one place for college sports is Sirius XM College Sports Radio, Channel 84.
Sportsnet Radio Network.
Home half of the third inning at Rogers Center. Dalton Varsho leading off for the Blue Jays. 1-0 Guardians over Blue Jays in the first of 3. Varsho taking a strike there from Logan Allen to get us started in the bottom of the third. Here's the 0-1. Just outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Caleb Joseph. Blue Jays had to aboard in the bottom of the second against Allen, but a double play ball got him out of it. Now he misses outside to make it 2 balls, 1 strike. Varsho, the only lefty swinger for the Blue Jays, checks his swing at a fastball up and in. 3-1. Part of the reason he's the only lefty hitter is Allen's got big lefty-righty splits. Righties hit over 300 against Allen. Lefties hit 234. Left on left the pitch. Foul tipped into the glove. Big hack by Varsho, 3-2. Toronto still hitless today. Full count pitch. Foul back into the netting. Interesting in the outfield, the right fielder, Will Brennan, has shifted mid-at-bat more down the line, but the center fielder, Daniel Schneemann, moved away from him, more up the middle as the 3-2 pitch is hit softly to third. Ramirez charging. Varsho digging for first. Throw just beats him. There's 1 out.
Oh, what a really nice play by Ramirez at third base. He's kind of shifted over. You were talking, Ben, about the outfielders. Well, the infielders were shifted over to the pull side. Ramirez has to kind of range to his right. Remember, he's the third baseman. And with the speed of Varsho, he's kind of got to get around that ball, got to get his feet set, throw a strike. Nice little pick by Naylor on the backside as well.
First pitch to Ernie Clement, called strike 1. known more for his bat. Generally, the fancy defensive numbers do like Jose Ramirez at third as well, a former shortstop. 0-1 pitch in the dirt, 1-1.
It just always found that backhand play moving away from the target at third base was one of the more difficult ones.
1-1 pitch inside to Clement. 2 balls and 1 strike. 1 out, bases empty. 1-0 Guardians. Bottom of the third. Clement's the 9-hitter. Here's the 2-1. Swinging a line shot, foul. Smoked that ball into the sidewall, and it got into the netting and somehow ripped its way under it and into the seats. No one's hurt. It went straight down into the floor, but a fan gets a souvenir.
Wow.
You know, when they say keep your eyes on the field, here's the 2-2. It's hit well, left field, and off the wall. Clement around first, diving head first into second with the first Blue Jays hit of the day, a 1-out double.
Yeah, Clement really gets a hold of this one. Logan Allen's been throwing this kind of hybrid curveball slider action. Clement gets the bat all the way under, is able to scoop it from the bottom part of the zone and really directionally send it perfect to left center. Good piece of hitting right there by Clement.
First pitch to Davis Schneider, called strike 1. Clement hit that 105 miles an hour, his 4th hardest hit ball this season.
Had it been anywhere but right there at that Pizza Now sign, I think any more to the left, it would have been a homer.
0-1 pitch inside. I'll make that high. 1 ball, 1 strike. After Clement slid into second, Andres Jimenez held the tag on his face. They laughed and chopped it up a little bit. Those 2 teammates on the Guardians a couple years ago. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Schneider was looking for the left field seats. It's 1-2. Ernie leads off second, peeks back at Jimenez. Allen, the pitcher, looking at him. 1-2. Schneider takes. It's low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Davis Schneider's 32 RBIs lead the Blue Jays. He knocked in a pair of runs in Toronto's game on Wednesday. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Late decision there, and he swings through a high fastball, 2 down.
That's the hardest thing about pitchers like Allen. They've 92, 93. You want to sit soft, but they have just enough zip at the top of the zone to really make you conscious of it. I think of a guy like Marco Estrada. I know he's right-handed, but just enough zip at the top that would really make you respect it.
2 down, the pitch to Danny Jansen, called strike 1. Welcome to the Timbermart broadcast booth. Home plate is home plans. Score the run with Timbermart.ca. Find a major league selection of winning plays for house, garage, and backyard sheds. Visit Timbermart.ca and win the game with Canada's Building Center. 0-1. Called strike, 0-2. Ernie Clement's on second. Blue Jays are down 1-0, bottom of the third. Jansen, slightly open stance, right side. Waggling the bat above his right shoulder. 0-2. Bounce to the plate, skips off the chest of Fry off to the left, but kind of in the direction of third, and Clement with 2 outs decides to play it safe.
Yeah, if you're really watching the ball and really thinking before that pitch that you're going to try and advance, Clement could have absolutely taken the base. That might have put a little bit more pressure on Allen and Fry with a runner at third, but he's still in scoring position with 2 outs.
1-2. Inside, Jansen spins out of the way. As a catcher, are you less likely to call that spike breaking ball the closer the guy is to the plate?
I'm going to call it, but I'm a little more anxious about blocking it.
2-2. Swing and a looper off the fist. Shallow left center. Kwan charging in. Calls off the center fielder Schneemann. Makes the catch and ends the inning. Blue Jays come up with their first hit, a Clement double, but he's left on second. It's still 1-0 Cleveland after 3. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
This is Kendall Rogers from D1 Baseball. Right now, we're breaking down the College World Series from every angle on the D1 Baseball podcast on the Sirius XM Podcast Network. Find out who will be standing tall in Omaha with me, Mike Rooney, Aaron Fitt, and Joe Healy all week long.
Yeah, I mean, on paper, this is a big mismatch. I mean, the talent discrepancy is huge.
It's college baseball at its best. To hear the D1 Baseball podcast today, plus exclusive SEC and ACC content, search D1 Baseball on the Sirius XM app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Every night after the final out, the Round Trip Roundup brings you the scores, highlights, and analysis from every game across Major League Baseball, all in less than 30 minutes.
Swung on and missed, strike 3 and a no-hitter.
It's the perfect way to get caught up on all the night's biggest home runs and best performances.
And a high drive, deep right center.
It's the Round Trip Roundup on MLB Network Radio every night on SiriusXM Channel 89 and every morning on the SiriusXM app.
You love listening to baseball. You love talking about baseball. You love yelling at your buddies about baseball because they love baseball, and so do we. That's why SiriusXM has the only channel on the radio dedicated to baseball 24/7. It's MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 89. News, opinions, passionate baseball talk from former players and GMs, plus interviews with players, managers, and executives, and much, much, much more. If you can hear me right now, you've got MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 89, and on the SiriusXM app.
24/7, 365 coverage of all things NASCAR. All things NASCAR happens exclusively on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90.
And the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome to the fourth inning presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app for today's baseball odds and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 19 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. Welcome back to Rogers Center. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Caleb Joseph. Show Ali's our host and producer today. Andrew Adams and Tom Young, our technical directors. Happy Pride Night at Rogers Center. Josh Naylor leading off the top of the fourth. First pitch is roped to right field, and that's down for a base hit. 2 hops and into the glove of Springer, who was playing way back against the powerful Naylor, who has another hit right beside his hometown in Mississauga here in Toronto.
Yeah, another kind of first pitch ambush from the Guardians. And at this point, if I'm a catcher, I might think maybe a couple backdoor breaking balls. Of course, you're trying to save that splitter, but I'm going to try and do something a little bit down and away to steal a strike other than a little two-seamer.
Here's David Fry, the catcher, right-handed hitter. First pitch is popped up just to our right over our heads, foul, 0-1. Interesting road for David Fry, who was a 7th rounder by the Brewers in 2018 out of Northwestern State University of Louisiana. 0-1. Down and away.
Where?
I was going to ask you because, I mean, you're our,
Sure.
You're a Tennessee guy. Northwestern State University of Louisiana. 7th Demons player, that's their nickname, to make the majors. They have one very notable alum, Hall of Fame closer Lee Smith. 1-1. Broken bat roller hits softly to third. Picked up by Clement. Goes to second one. Over to first from IKF. It's a 5-4-3 double play.
Wow. It's exactly what Gausman needed after being pressured in the second and third inning. The speed of the ball off the bat of Fry is just slowly bouncing to Clement. Clement picks it up, a really quick lightning transfer to IKF, and then IKF even faster transfer over to Vladdy. Of course, the catcher Fry running. They had plenty of time, but man, that was a beautiful double play. 2 really quick hands being shown off in that play.
So now 2 down, and here's Will Brennan, left-handed hitter. Pitch misses outside, 1-0. That's the benefit the Blue Jays have. They have 3 guys in the infield today that have played shortstop in the majors.
That's a great point.
Everyone but Vladdy. 1-0. Inside, 2-0.
A lot of times we talk about the benefits of 3 center fielders in the outfield. Well, this is what it looks like to have 3 shortstops on the infield. You see those type of lightning quick transfers. Really impressive.
2-0. Fry will take right at the knees for strike 1. Or pardon me, Brennan takes, not Fry. Brennan, an 8th rounder in 2018 by Cleveland. I think you've heard of this school, Caleb, Kansas State.
Yes.
An All-American for the Wildcats. 2-1 pitches high, 3-1. Fry, the lone Cleveland run in this game, doubled in the second inning, came in to score on a Daniel Schneemann double. It's 1-0 Guardians, 2 outs top of the fourth. 6'2 righty Gausman sets, kicks, fires, and hits the zone with a fastball to fill up the count at 3-2. Third season for Will Brennan. Blue Jays saw him twice last year. He went 0 for 7, but had a hit already in his first at-bat this year. 3-2 pitch foul to the left. That was in dangerous proximity to an usher carrying popcorn bags on his head, but he got out of the way. A fan got a ball. That could have been a big explosion right there.
That probably would have made the local news.
3-2 pitch. Hit deep to left field. Going back, Schneider at the wall. Looks up, it's into the bullpen. Home run, Will Brennan. 2-0, the Guardians double their lead on Brennan's solo blast, his 6th homer of the year.
Wow, I'm a little shocked that ball goes out. It's only 94 off the Brad of Brennan. It's directly into the Blue Jays bullpen, directionally perfect. It had the launch. Ball must be flying because I thought that was just a deep fly ball to left field. It carried all the way out of here.
Wind has been blowing a bit to left, although banners out in center field aren't moving much right now as the first pitch hits the dirt. 1-0. Gausman against Daniel Schneemann. Now 2-0 Guardians, 2 outs, top of the 4th. Yeah, it's only a home run in 5 ballparks.
Okay, all right.
Of course, Rogers Center being one of them. High wall, but not the deepest wall out there in left. 1-0. Called strike 1-1.
And I think sometimes we forget that bullpen, it does sort of angle inward and then back outward as it gets to left center, and it crossed right where it kind of angles back in towards the field.
1-1. Swing and a fly ball down the left field line into the seats. 1-2.
You know what I love about analytics, Ben?
What do you love about
I love when analytics verifies my eye test. And that would just, for some reason, that just didn't feel like a homer. And then you come on with the analytics and you say in 5 ballparks. I love it when that happens.
So the Brennan homer, now Schneemann up, who's 1 for 1 with an RBI double. Swings and misses at the 1-2. That'll be it for the inning. 4 strikeouts today for Gausman. He allows his 2nd run of the day on the Brennan solo shot. It's 2-0 Cleveland, middle of the 4th. Blue Jays looking to get on the board next. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
When Blue Jays starter Kevin Gausman is on the mound, you hear a lot of pops at Rogers Center. The pop of the ball hitting the catcher's mitt. The pop of the crowd as they cheer on another Gausman strikeout. But most importantly for Goss, the pop of his bubble gum.
Swing and a miss. Got him on the splitter again. One of the best at his craft.
Gausman loves his gum. So be one of the first 15,000 fans on Wednesday, July 3rd and get your Kevin Gausman bubblegum bobblehead. Get your tickets at BlueJays.com.
We're 2 men and a truck. So, you're moving to a new home, and all that's left to do is to call a mover you know you can trust. Well, naturally, you think 2 men and a truck, since you know they have lots of men and lots of trucks. They'll wrap, pack, and move everything you own. With a 96% referral rating and the professionalism you can trust, the choice is simple. For a free in-home estimate, call today. We're 2 men and a truck.
2 men and a truck, the movers who care.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. That's why we introduced in-game betting. Because when the game starts, the action doesn't stop. With in-game betting, you can wager on game props, player props, totals, and the money line. And remember, in-game, you can track your same-day parlay with the option to cash out. Check out in-game betting and find out why. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
Must be 19 years or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
In time. What a play, Bo Bichette.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome to the Timbermart broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Caleb Joseph. 2-0 Guardians over Blue Jays. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. leading off the bottom of the 4th inning. He's taken 2 straight pitches out of the zone, and quickly Vlad's ahead, 2-0. Second time through for the Blue Jays. Guerrero, after an out in the first, hitting .280. Swing and a miss at a 2-0 breaking ball off the plate, 2-1. In the wind, the lefty Logan Allen deals, and Guerrero will take inside, holding a pose as he jackknifed out of the way, 3-1. 3-1 pitch. High ball 4. Guerrero tosses the bat back through his legs. He's got a leadoff walk. Second time today the Blue Jays have a leadoff walk, but they didn't make Allen pay in the second. They tried to here in the 4th.
You'd mentioned it earlier. Allen's damage has really come against walks and then gives up the homer. Really important when you get a guy like this that isn't overpowering to really zone him up, especially coming after a walk.
First pitch to Bo Bichette, called strike one. Mentioned earlier, 14 home runs allowed by Allen. That's tied for the most in Major League Baseball. Former Guardian Aaron Savali, Pablo Lopez, and current Guardian Tristan McKenzie tied with Logan Allen. A one pitch inside, 1-1. And this is despite the fact, it's pretty crazy, 2 Cleveland guys are on there.
Right.
Because if you look at park factors that measure how home runs are hit at each park, Cleveland is the 3rd hardest in baseball over the last 3 years. Bichette rides a 1-1 pitch to center field. Long run and a great catch by Daniel Schneemann. Guerrero had gone almost all the way to second. He's back at first, 1 out.
Yeah, really good swing by Bichette. That's exactly what the Blue Jays are looking for. Gets into an advantage count by taking a couple good pitches. Out in front with the barrel on a middle, slightly in fastball. Directionally is perfect to left center, right out towards that bet sign in left center. Really good play by Schneemann. He was shaded to right center, ran all the way down to catch that ball.
First pitch to Justin Turner, high, ball 1. Guerrero on first. 2-0 Guardians, bottom of the 4th. Turner, former Oriole, Met, Dodger, and Red Sox. First year with the Blue Jays, 1-0. Called strike. In a second, we'll look at the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. Devilishly good since Toronto first raised the trophy in '92. Join them for wings, ribs, beer, cocktails, and catch every plate at your local St. Louis Bar and Grill. Download the app or visit stlouiswings.com for more details. Always devilishly good. Next pitch is up and away to Turner. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Allen looking out at Guerrero at first, delivers home, and misses inside.
So I do have a Justin Turner story. We might not have time for it with the pitch clock, but my rookie season in spring training, I was driving to spring training. I forgot I didn't have any gas in the car. I ran out of gas on the 301 Tamiami.
3-1 pitch is smoked foul off the front railing of the camera well past the Blue Jays dugout, 3-2.
In Sarasota, Florida. I'm running to spring training, trying to be there on time, because if you're late as a rookie, you might as well just pack your bags. Justin Turner finds me on the road, picks me up, and saves my career. Yes, Justin Turner saved my career.
3-2 pitch is hit down the right field line into the seats, foul. So this is a major road you're running down?
Yes.
And you just
in
left
Sarasota,
the car, or you never started?
No, yeah, it ran out of gas on the main road. He actually picked me up about 5 blocks past the car, which is in the main road. We went back, pushed it into a gas station.
3-2 pitch is chopped on the ground left side. Picked up a deep short. Rocchio sends it to second one, over to first. 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. We will wrap up on that and get to the out-of-town scoreboard after the break. We go to the 5th, 2-0 Guardians. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Keep the grill lit.
A T-bone steak, cheese, eggs, and Welch's grape.
With barbecue-themed channels sure to get the backyard bumping. From hip-hop,
bring the noise,
to classic rock,
an American girl,
country,
can I have some help?
And beyond. Set it and forget it this Father's Day weekend and all summer long. Only in the SiriusXM app. Just search BBQ.
Fantasy Sports Radio is helping you win your fantasy leagues right now on Channel 87.
Aaron Judge drills a 3-run home run.
From in-season fantasy baseball management to our all-time fantasy baseball draft to helping you prepare for your fantasy football drafts. Fantasy Sports Radio is here to help you dominate.
Don't ever take a player that you don't intend to keep all year. Don't do it. It's terrible management.
Fantasy Sports Radio, your home for fantasy sports. Channel 87 and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
Happy Father's Day from Fans for the Cure. We want to send a quick reminder to all men 40 and over to get screened for prostate cancer. It's a simple blood test for a disease that has a 99% cure rate when it's caught early. Please help keep your fathers, grandfathers, uncles, brothers, and friends in the game. We need to make sure the men we love get a PSA blood test for prostate cancer. For more information, go to fansforthecure.org. That's fansforthecure.org.
Jays fans, this is George Springer, and you're listening to Blue Jays Baseball on Sirius XM.
George Springer, airborne, snatches it out of the sky.
At Radio Network.
The fifth inning is brought to you by Desjardins Financial Group. Desjardins awarded another 150 grants worth $20,000 each to entrepreneurs across Canada. See how Desjardins cheered on small biz at goodsparkgrants.ca. 2-0 Guardians. Brian Rocchio leads off. First pitch from Kevin Gausman. Outside 1-0. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Caleb Joseph, who abandoned a car apparently in the middle of Sarasota, Florida. One day in what, 2010-ish? As the 1-0 pitch misses inside, 2-0.
Around there, and Justin Turner, I was trying to get back to spring training. I was a rookie. It was early in the morning. I ran out of gas. I'm thinking, if I'm not there on time, they're going to release me. Justin Turner found me on the side of the road.
2-0. In the dirt, 3 balls, no strikes.
And he picked me up, and he said, "What are you doing right now?" And I said, "Well, I ran out of gas." And he looked back, and he said, "Is that your car in the middle of the road?" And I said, "Yeah, it's mine." He picked me up. We went back, pushed it into an Exxon gas station.
3-0. Called strike 3 and 1.
And he got me there on time. I was absolutely panicked. I would have made it because I had about an hour to go, about 4 miles, but I would have had to have run. But he saved my career, no doubt. I was panicked, Ben.
Next pitch, Rocchio hits down the right field line, hooking to the corner. That's down on the turf and bouncing into the wall. Rocchio headed to second. He's got a stand-up double. Does Turner ever bring that up to you?
You know, when he first showed up in spring training, I went and greeted him, and I reminded him that he saved my career. We had a really nice chuckle. I still probably owe him a steak dinner because I don't think I ever did anything for him. And I was just,
man.
You know, I was a minor leaguer. I was making like $200 a month. But yeah, maybe I'll leave him a present or something to thank
like
him.
Exactly why they invented Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Exactly,
was for a situation
right?
like that.
Just drop it off.
Runner on second, no outs, top of the fifth. The pitch to Bo Naylor, outside 1-0. Let's take a look over the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. 2-0 in Toronto, top of the fifth. Runner on second, no outs. Turner's team last year, the Boston Red Sox, facing the New York Yankees for the first time this season. 1-0. Called strike. That one is at Fenway Park, and the Yankees started off the series with a bang. Juan Soto doubles, and then former Red Sox, now Yankee, Alex Verdugo with a 2-run homer in the first. It's 2-0 Yankees, bottom 2. Ooh. I can't imagine what the reception was like. 1-1, called strike 1 and 2. For Verdugo, who in fairness was traded from the Red Sox to the Yankees, so it wasn't his decision. But I don't think that a lot of people at Fenway were probably thinking about that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Ooh, there's nothing worse.
You know, it's not like a Jacoby Ellsbury situation. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Naylor beat by a fastball, top of the zone, 1 out. Well, that's 2-0 there. Elsewhere around the division, the Baltimore Orioles are hosting the Philadelphia Phillies. Everyone was saying Dodgers and Yankees could be a World Series preview. Perhaps this the same. And it's 1-1 right now in the fourth inning. Kyle Schwarber hit his 14th homer of the year to start the game, and then Adley Rutschman tied it up on an RBI double. First pitch to Stephen Kwan outside, 1-0.
I'd be trying to lock Rutschman up right now if I was Baltimore. I'm sure they're trying, but good-looking player.
I mean, what does that guy not do between switch hitting, the way he defends? Here's Kwan, the Gold Glover. 1-0. Called strike.
I think the most impressive thing for me about him is just the ability to handle the pitching staff the way he did right out of the chute. Such a difficult thing to do as a young player is to get up to speed on the sequences, the speed of the game. He's done it very well.
1-1 pitch. In the dirt. Good block by Jansen sliding to the right. 2 balls and 1 strike. Keeps the runner, Rocchio, at second. And you look elsewhere on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Atlanta Braves hosting the Tampa Bay Rays, and it is not close right now in the top of the third. Atlanta up 7-1 on Tampa Bay. Marcell Ozuna with his 19th homer of the year, a 3-run shot in the first. 2-1 pitch hit on a line to left by Kwan. Hangs up for Schneider, who catches it above his head. 2 down. 5-run first for the Braves, who are again up 7-1 in the third on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out of town scoreboard.
Yeah, Tampa looks about as vulnerable as they've looked in the last 10 years, I would say. And it's honestly a bit shocking, really. Like, wait, they're not playing well? What's going on? Just shows you how dominant this kind of run comparative to their salary has been for them.
And even now, 3 games below 500. It's not like they're completely out of it. A half game back of the Blue Jays as we enter play today. 2-0 Guardians, top of the 5th. Gausman with a good response after the leadoff double to Rocchio has struck out Naylor. Got Kwan to line out. Andres Jimenez is up. Left-handed hitting second baseman. A look at second. Gausman's pitch. Fastball outside, 1-0.
One of those situations where there is a base open, but you really want to go after Jimenez here. You don't want to get to Ramirez with runners at first and second. This really pivotal at bat. Jays aren't doing much against Allen. Want to keep it at 2-0 right here.
Next pitch. Swinging a bouncing ball through the hole right side into right. They give the wave to Rocchio. Springer comes up throwing, but it's offline. Rocchio dives in head first. Snap throw to first. Diving back safely, Jimenez. He's got an RBI single. It's 3-0 Guardians.
It's like it was almost on cue. Trying to keep the Guardians from scoring again. It's a fastball kind of right down the middle at 93. Jimenez just jams himself a little bit. It's not really sharply hit, just perfectly placed in between IKF and Vladdy Guerrero Jr. Only 83 miles off the bat, and sometimes you can jam a guy, but the direction of the bat, the way that they swing it, it keeps the ball elevated, which then has it carry, skips right into right field. Good piece of hitting, not a terrible pitch from Gausman, but the Guardians are able to score another run.
For Jimenez, his 35th RBI of the season. And here's the guy you said they didn't want to face. Here's Jose Ramirez with a runner on. 2 outs, top of the 5th, the pitch. Outside, 1-0. Gausman up above 80 pitches. He's given up 7 hits today, 3 runs, 4 2/3 so far. One-0. Swinging a pop-up to the left. Foul out of play. We haven't seen many starts, at least like this so far for Gausman. He's made 13 starts this year. And 4 times he's given up 5 or more runs. 8 times he's given up 1 or fewer. Still some time to go, but we've only seen 1 start from Gausman where he gave up between 2 and 4 runs. Runner takes off on the 1-1. It's popped up, left side foul. Jansen scrambling back, but it's into the seats. 1-2.
Yeah, saw that little note today as well. It's either been really, really good or given up a lot. Not of these real kind of tweener innings where you're really having to fight for it, coming off of a complete game shutout, his first of his career against Oakland. It's a scrappy offense. This Cleveland team, scrappy offense. Already, 4 doubles? Homer? Bat-to-ball skills, really good.
Taking off again on the 1-2 as the runner Jimenez. Throw down to second. The pitch was outside, and Jimenez slides in safely head first. That's his 11th stolen base of the year, and now he's in scoring position for the major league leader in RBIs, Jose Ramirez.
It's a high percentage play. Gausman not very quick to home plate. Jimenez with good speed. It was a good pitch for Danny to throw on as it's up and away, but you got to rush that play as a catcher knowing the speed of Jimenez. The throw is just a little bit high. Would have taken an absolute perfect throw to get him, and your margin for error is so small. Now you got to deal with Ramirez with another runner in scoring position where a bloop scores another run.
Gausman has struck out Ramirez both times he's seen him today. Both on splitters, both swinging. 2-2. Fouled off to the left. There was a quick stoppage in play. A ball had gotten onto the field in left field, popping out of the Blue Jays bullpen where the lefty Genesis Cabrera gets loose. Three 3-0 Guardians, 2 outs. Leading off second, Jimenez. Backing up a little bit behind the baseline. Bo Bichette plays in between him and the bag. A look at second. Gausman kicks, delivers. Swing and a fly ball, medium depth left field. Very playable for Schneider, moves to his left, catches it off to his left, and ends the inning. Guardians with another run, though. A leadoff double by Rocchio, an RBI single by Jimenez. It's 3-0 Cleveland, middle of the fifth. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The NASCAR Cup Series is on SiriusXM. We're back on the track Sunday,
6 p.m. Eastern.
It's the Iowa Corn 350, powered by ethanol from Iowa Speedway. Yeah. On SiriusXM NASCAR Radio Channel 90, in the car, and on the all-new SiriusXM app. Yeah. Get closer to everything that moves you, wherever you are, with the SiriusXM app.
Let's make some smoke and drink some beer. Yeah.
Wake up! Wake up, everybody! This is Steve Phillips from the leadoff spot on MLB Network Radio. Join me and former Major League Baseball players Eduardo Perez and Xavier Scruggs as we react to all the latest news and scores across baseball and have plenty of fun along the way.
Steve, you were so right about that.
I don't know if anybody else thinks we're funny, but I think we're funny.
Why are you putting us or we into this?
The leadoff spot, weekdays at 7 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network Radio, Channel 89, and on the SiriusXM app.
While you're listening to this game on SiriusXM, we're talking about the latest odds and prop bets for this and every game on Sports Grid Radio.
The under's minus 125. Heavy juice to the under.
Every home run hit and every strikeout thrown can change the line.
I can't for the life of me figure out how you can favor a team that never wins, ever.
If you're looking for sports talk centered around the latest odds and prop bets for games, races, tournaments, or any sporting event, Sports Grid Radio, SiriusXM, Channel 159.
Hey, baseball fans, the 2024 NBA Draft begins on June 26th, and NBA Radio is your home for all the action. Hear every pick on NBA Radio, Channel 86, and the all-new SiriusXM app.
3-0 Guardians, bottom of the fifth. George Springer leading off. Takes the first pitch from Logan Allen on the inside edge. Strike one. Welcome to the Timbermart broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Caleb Joseph, Show Ali, our host and producer, Andrew Adams, Tom Young, our technical directors, and Allen bounces in the 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Logan Allen, not to be confused with former Cleveland Guardians pitcher Logan Allen, who's now at the Arizona Diamondbacks. 1-1 pitch is a swinging bunt, third base side. It'll hook foul, 1-2.
Very different.
Very different.
Those two guys. In just about every way.
Allen a lot younger, left-handed. This has been one of his better days of the year so far, though. He's given up 1 hit. He's walked 3, including George Springer back in the second. 1-2 pitch, check swing on a pitch delivered low. It misses 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two, swing and a miss. Strike 3, fastball up and in. And there's 1 out.
I will say I've been pretty impressed watching Allen be able to dot the fastball in, and whenever you have a left-hander that's 91, 93, as a catcher, you've got to be able to get the ball to the inner half against a right-handed hitter. You got to establish that to then allow the other pitches to work. He's been dotting that fastball at the top and on the inner half all night.
First pitch to IKF, high, 1-0. Very similar to the words of his manager, Stephen Vogt, who said, if he's up on the glove side and down on the arm side, so up and in or down and away to right-handed hitters as he misses there to make it 2-0. That's when Allen's going to have a good night.
He's showing it.
2-0 pitch. Called strike. One of the biggest pitches he's made so far today. Came back in the second with IKF up at the plate. 2 on and 1 out. He forced him into a ground ball double play. 2-1 pitch is hit in the air right field. Starting back now, moving in Brennan. Makes the catch, 2 down, and let's go to the injury report. Brought to you by Bergmanis Prera Personal Injury Lawyers. If life has thrown you a curveball and you're striking out with your insurance company, get ahead of the count and call Bergmanis Prera Personal Injury Lawyers. You focus on getting better, and Bergmanis Prera will take care of the rest. Visit bplawyers.ca. Main news today, Jordan Romano threw from 90 feet today. He continues to feel good as Dalton Varsho swings and misses 0-1. And Yariel Rodriguez will make his next start for Buffalo on Sunday. He's going to try to throw 80 to 85 pitches, cut and a miss again from Varsho. Now 0-2, 2 out, space is empty.
think that's right where John Schneider would like to see Rodriguez get to then be a viable option as a starter.
0-2. Outside.
Not sure they really want to be on a 50 to 60 pitch count for an opener, and that I think they'd like a traditional fifth starter in that fifth role.
Next pitch is bounced. 2 balls, 2 strikes. What it does do is, at least for this series, it leaves a question mark for tomorrow's starter.
Yeah.
Schneider said it could be Bowden Francis, it could be an opener, and it could depend on how the bullpen's used today. 2-2 pitch, fouled back, headed towards us, but it'll drop in front of us into the 100 level. You were up on your feet for that one.
Ready to go. I would like to see Francis get another shot. I know that Richards could be a potential option as an opener. I do just love a little bit of stability down there. They did it last year. It worked, but would love to see Bowden get another shot off of a good start in Oakland.
2-2 outside, and Varsho's worked an 0-2 count into a 3-2 count. For Francis, he did make his third start of the year on the 9th. He threw 4 scoreless innings against the Oakland A's. 3-2 pitch fouled off into the netting, shaking the cables, still 3-2. Varsho at the plate, 2 outs, bases empty, 3-0 Cleveland, bottom 5, the pitch. Swing and a looper, third base, caught by Jose Ramirez with 2 hands to end the inning. Blue Jays go down 1-2-3. Allen's retired 5 in a row. It's 3-0 Cleveland after 5. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Our core values: equality, respect, the pursuit of greatness. Through and through, this is who we are.
Be at the ballpark to experience a proud tradition. Canada Day, Monday, July 1st. The first 15,000 fans will receive a Blue Jays Canadian tuxedo hat giveaway. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
Proud to the core. Canadian to the core. Blue Jays to the core.
We're 2 men in a truck. The movers who care. You never know when cardiac arrest can happen. That's why each and every one of our trucks carries a life-saving Mikey defibrillator as part of our Mikey on Board program. Whether we're on the highway or in front of your house, we're prepared to help anyone whose heart may skip a beat. The Mikey Network has saved many lives, making Mikeys accessible to the public. And now they're on board our trucks. We're 2 men in a truck.
2 men and a truck, the movers who care.
The hardest work should lead to the best quality of life. If you're a skilled trades worker, you might not be feeling that way right now. But in Alberta, skilled trades workers can earn more, save more, and live more with better wages and a lower cost of living. Visit albertaiscalling.ca to learn more about the $5,000 moving bonus for the first 2,000 skilled trades workers who move to Alberta, stay for a year, and successfully apply. A message from the Government of Alberta.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
He's at the track, at the wall. He leads, and he made the catch.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Come celebrate Dad at the ballpark this Sunday for our Junior Jays Father's Day. And it's that time of year again. Junior Jays outdoor program is back. Come to the ballpark before gates open, and kids 14 and under can enjoy artists, special performances, and more. Head to bluejays.com/JRJs and get your tickets now. 3-0 Guardians over Blue Jays. Top of the 6th. Starts with Josh Naylor fouling off a Kevin Gausman pitch to make it 0-1. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Caleb Joseph. It's Pride Night at Rogers Center. Some Pride flag colored bunting out in center field. Pride flag features throughout the ballpark. And the fans getting a rainbow rope corduroy hat as they walked in to the game today. 0-1. Fouled back, 0-2. Naylor 1 for 2 today. He singled on a line out to right field in the 4th inning, also grounded out to second. But he was called out on a double play ball in the 4th right after his single. He's developing into one of the game's premier power hitters, 17 home runs already this season. Oh-2, down and away.
Saw Naylor in AAA as a youngster. Padres system. And he had a really really nice, stable base, kind of collision bat type of swing. You could kind of feel the power behind him as a catcher, if that makes any sort of sense. You could feel it was there.
Swinging a foul off to the left.
He did have some kind of considerable chase and was vulnerable to chase, I remember as a youngster, but as he's kind of grown into the major leaguer he is, you can tell that the bat is kind of leveling off even more, and he's got a better idea, not as anxious up there as what I felt in AAA. He's turned out to be a nice hitter for Cleveland.
1-2 pitch low, 2-2. He came up with the Padres in May of 2019, debuted here at Rogers Center against the Blue Jays. Originally a Marlins 12th overall pick out of St. Joan of Arc in Mississauga. 2-2. Fouled off into the netting. It's part of a big trade in 2016. Kind of a controversial one. Colin Ray of the Blue Jays just saw gets traded to the Marlins, makes a start, gets hurt right away. The Marlins say, hey, you traded us a hurt player, a trade back. Biggest piece that stayed in that trade other than Naylor, your former teammate Andrew Kashner went to the Marlins. 2-2. Called strike 3. Froze him on 94 at the knees. 6th Gausman strikeout in the first out of the 6th.
A really well-located fastball at the bottom of the zone after a prolonged AB to Naylor. A lot of foul balls by Naylor. This looks like a split right at the bottom of the zone, but it's not. It's the 94-mile-an-hour fastball at the bottom, and you just can tell when he throws that at the bottom, it really can confuse a hitter.
First pitch, big cut and a miss by David Fry on a splitter inside 0-1.
I think that's the way you protect the split. If you want chase at the bottom and you try and do the opposite of what manager Stephen Vogt wants them to do, which is get him up, you throw fastballs down, make them respect that lower part of the plate.
Swing and a miss on another splitter down and in, 0-2. Tough day so far for Fry. A pop up to short and a ground ball double play. Right on right, the pitch. Swing and a grounder into the Blue Jays dugout.
So you got the split below. You can throw that four-seam down below. Now you can start to exploit the upper part of the zone with a four-seam. You kind of get them looking down, get the body kind of crunched over. You can zip a two-seam in, break the bat, slider down and away. You got options now.
Swing and a pop-up, foul ball headed back near us, and it'll drop just in front of us.
I'm telling you, I'm going to get one tonight.
I think if you tried to go for that one, you'd be in the 100 level at the moment.
And my tush would have been right in your face because I would have been leaning over trying to get it.
The 0-2 again. Swinging a line shot down in left center, a base hit. Fry chugging around first, big turn, but he'll stop there. He's got a one-out knock. Let's go to the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. Mentioned earlier, it was 1-1, Philly at Baltimore. That tie has been broken. Rafael Marchand, all of the big names for Philly. This is a guy playing in just his second game since 2021. Hits his first homer since 2021.
Wow.
A solo shot to give Philadelphia the lead. After David Fry's single, John Schneider going out to the mound, and Kevin Gausman, who's gone through 5 1/3, will hand him the baseball and walk back to the dugout. Runner on first, 1 out, 3-0 Guardians over Blue Jays, top of the 6th. For more out-of-town scores, let's go back to baseball control. Here's Show Ali.
Thank you very much, Ben. And before we check the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill, don't forget we do have Jays Talk tonight. Blair and Barker have the post-game show. Blair will throw the numbers for you to call out after this game is in the books. All right, St. Louis Bar and Grill brings you the out-of-town scoreboard every game. Let's check it right now. Some scores from around Major League Baseball. Phillies at Orioles. Phillies still up 2-1. Kyle Schwarber hitting his 14th home run of the year in that game, a solo shot. Rays at Braves. Zach Littell versus Chris Sale in that pitching matchup. But Atlanta leading 7-1, bottom 4 right now, including a Marcelo Zuna 2-run bomb at home. The Yankees at Red Sox. This game started in a delay thanks to rain at Fenway, but the Yankees get going. They score first. Alex Verdugo with a 2-run bomb, 2-0 New York right now, top of the 4th inning in Boston. Speaking of Boston, the NBA Finals continuing tonight. The Celtics now leading 3-0 in the best-of-7 series. They beat the Mavericks 106-99 in Game 3. Game 4 tonight at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. So tip-off in mere moments, essentially. The Mavericks looking to avoid being swept. Celtics head coach Joe Mazzulla saying that Kristaps Porzingis is available off the bench tonight despite the leg injury, but will only be used in specific instances. So he's essentially saying don't expect a ton of minutes for Porzingis. Either way, very shortly you'll be able to watch it tonight on Sportsnet. And the UEFA European Championship, otherwise we're easily saying, known as the Euros, are officially underway. Germany waxing Scotland 5-1 as the group stage starts play today. Blue Jays baseball brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Let's get you back down to the Rogers Center. Here's Ben Schulman and Caleb Joseph.
Thank you very much, Joe. 27th appearance of the season for the lefty Genesis Cabrera. He comes on with a runner on first for the Guardians, David Fry, 1 out, and a 3-0 Guardians lead, top of the 6th. It's a left-on-left matchup here with Will Brennan. Cabrera steps off and throws to first, the unconventional lefty move, but back in standing is Fry, who's stolen 4 bases this season. Fry leading off. Guerrero holds him on a step off the bag. And Cabrera's pitch. Inside, ball 1. This year for Cabrera, a .525 earned run average, 24 innings pitched. Last time we saw the lefty, he picked up his first save as a Blue Jay, pitched in the 10th inning in Toronto's 6-4 win over the Oakland A's. 1-0. Outside. For Cabrera, 13 walks this season to 15 strikeouts in 24 innings.
Yeah, it's been a challenge. Location has been a challenge for him, scattering that kind of two-seam action, 94, 95, but getting it in the lane has been a challenge for him.
2-0 pitch, bounced up the middle, right to the shortstop Bichette. Steps on the bag, throws to first, and that's just what the doctor ordered. A 6-3 double play in 3 pitches. Cabrera ends the inning and sends us to the bottom of the 6th. 3-0 Guardians. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Hear what happens when over 70 of the biggest names in talk, sports, and entertainment press play on their favorite songs and share the stories behind them.
It's about the pain and misery of someone breaking up with you and then moving on with someone else.
Hear exclusive guest DJs from Howard Stern, Kate Hudson, Kevin Hart, Max Crosby, and many, many more.
Take it to the floor now.
Find them all in the SiriusXM app.
The South Carolina Gamecocks are on top of the women's college basketball world yet again.
Perfection for South Carolina. 38 games, 38 wins.
We're reacting to the perfect season and talking to the biggest names right here on Channel 374.
Congratulations, Coach Saley. What does this particular title mean to you?
This title is pretty special because it was unexpected.
Keep it locked into SiriusXM SEC Radio as we continue to break it all down and celebrate the Gamecocks' 3rd national title.
Hi, my name is John Smoltz, and my road to Cooperstown was an incredible ride.
This is John Paul Morosi. Coming up on the next episode of the new SiriusXM podcast, The Road to Cooperstown, I sit down with Hall of Famer John Smoltz.
In my baseball career, all my greatest achievements came after some of the most heartfelt, tough moments and setbacks.
The Road to Cooperstown airs Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM 89, and the all-new SiriusXM app. New episodes drop every Tuesday wherever you get your podcast.
24/7, 365 coverage of all things NASCAR. All things NASCAR happens exclusively on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90
Network.
Bottom of the 6th inning, 3-0 Guardians over Blue Jays here at Rogers Center. Logan Allen, the starter, still on. First pitch to Ernie Clement, hit hard, left field, down on the track. Clement around first, he wants second. The throw from Quan bounces past the bag. It's a first pitch double for Clement. He's got both Blue Jay hits today, 2 doubles in the game. He's aboard to start the home half of the 6th.
Yeah, Ernie Clement showed up to hit the baseball today. This is a first pitch fastball right down the middle, taking a page out of the Cleveland Guardians book. Ambush And a lot of times when you have a first at-bat where you hit a breaking ball, you can almost sit on the first pitch fastball. Ernie did it, blistered it to left field.
First pitch to Davis Schneider. Low gets away from the catcher Fry, but he scrambles back to it, 1 down. That's Caleb Joseph. I'm Ben Schulman. Welcome to the Timbermark broadcast booth. Clement, a 4th rounder by Cleveland in 2017, playing against the Guardians for the first time in his career. 1-0. Check swing, called strike, 1-1. Ernie talked very excitedly about playing against Cleveland, not in like a malicious way. He really enjoyed everyone over there. 1-1. Called strike 2. And in fact, as Terry Francona left and some of the coaches left with him, a lot of Stephen Vogt's staff are the minor league managers and coaches he had going up in the Cleveland system. 1-2. Swing and a liner. Center field, down for a hit. Clement had to wait. He'll get the wait from Carlos Fablas. Here comes the throw from Schneemann. It's cut off. It's an RBI single from Schneider. And the Blue Jays are on the board. 3-1 Cleveland. Bottom 6.
All right, here they go. Sometimes it starts at the bottom of the order. Clement starting it off with a double. Davis Schneider, fastball kind of down in the zone. Allen had been trying to pepper him up in the zone. Leaves this one down. Schneider a little bit off the end of the bat. Drives it to right center field. Looks like there might be a pitching change right here, Ben.
Stephen Vogt not taking any chances. 5 scoreless from Allen. He gives up 2 hits in 5 pitches in the 6th. And they go to their very tough bullpen. We'll be back in just a second. Let's go to baseball control. Here's Show Ali.
Thank you very much, Ben. And like I said before we check the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, another reminder that we do have Jays Talk today. Blair's here at the studio. Barker's down at the Rogers Center. The guys at the post-game show. Blair will throw out the numbers for you to call after the final out. All right, let's check that out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. Some check-ins across the AL East. Phillies at Orioles. Phillies up still 2-1 right now. Kyle Schwarber with his 14th home run of the season. Kyle Bradish was on the mound for the Orioles. He did leave the game after 5 innings pitched and just 74 pitches thrown. Now, he did recently come back off the IL, so perhaps some caution there, but that is definitely somewhat noteworthy given the recent injury, so we'll keep an eye on that. Rays at Braves. Zach Littell, Chris Sale in the pitching matchup in Atlanta. They lead 7-1 over Tampa. Marcell Ozuna hitting a 2-run bomb, his 19th of the season. Austin Riley also crushing a 2-run bomb, his 4th of the season. He also had an RBI double. Yankees at Red Sox. This game again started in a delay at Fenway Park thanks to rain, but the Yankees got a 2-run bomb from Alex Verdugo. They now lead 3-0. Other scores around Major League Baseball. The Marlins trail the Nationals 8-1. The Padres and Mets, due to a delay, getting started late in New York, but zeros there. Oakland getting a grand slam from Shea Langoliers. They lead 4-0, and Cincy and Milwaukee tied at 0, bottom 2. Blue Jays baseball is brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Let's get back to the action. Here's Ben Schulman and Caleb Joseph.
Thank you very much, Joe. Pitching for the first time on home soil in the Major League. Here's the right-hander, Cade Smith from Abbotsford, British Columbia. He's out of the pen for the Guardians, 3-1 Cleveland. Runner on first, Danny Jansen at the plate. First pitch, the righty drops a breaking ball in for strike 1. Nobody out. A double and a single to start this inning have chased Logan Allen out of the game after 5+ innings. And the parents of Cade Smith on hand as the 0-1 pitch is hit deep to third. Picked up by Ramirez. Goes to second for 1. Back to first, not in time. And they're saying, no, he wasn't on the bag at second.
Oh, wow.
Or at least that's what Ernie thinks. They called him out. Pardon me, Davis. I believe Davis Schneider is waiting on second to see if the Blue Jays want to challenge.
And they're rolling. Oh, that looked really close. So the play is a ground ball off the bat of Danny Jansen. Takes Ramirez to his right. He's kind of flat-footed, falling towards the stands. He throws off balance, a little sidearm. Takes Jimenez to his tippy toes to catch the ball. Tried to fire then to get Jansen at first. I thought for a second that he was going to be safe at second, but apparently he was able to stay on the base.
So a fielder's choice. 1 out, the pitch to Vladimir Guerrero, high at 96. 1-0. Smith in his rookie season, a mid-90s fastball, high 80s splitter, low 80s sweeper. 1-0. Sweeper in the dirt. He's had a heck of a rookie year. This is his 30th appearance of the season. ERA below 2, 40 strikeouts, 7 walks in 30 2/3 innings. BC native comes set at the chest. Kicks and delivers. Big swing and a miss by Guerrero. 97 up and in. He tried to take it out of the yard. And the count now 2-1. Jansen leading off first. 3-1 Guardians. 1 out, bottom 6. Next pitch hit foul. Guerrero just missed another up and in fastball.
I always found that those large humans on the mound with sort of herky jerky type motions, as Smith has. Smith's 6'5", 230 with a motion sort of similar to Nate Pearson in the way that kind of he recoils. I always thought that those guys were kind of the hardest ones to pick up. The head moves down. The ball kind of looks like it explodes out of the shoulder.
2-2, big swing and a miss, strike 3. He hung that sweeper over the middle, but Guerrero out in front of it, 2 down.
That just shows you the importance of the pitch before. The pitch before was a fastball all the way at the top, all the way on the inner half. When a pitcher can locate that, it just puts it in the back of your mind that when you're late, you got to kind of cheat to it a little bit. Vladdy Guerrero kind of cheating to that spot. The hanging breaking ball has him spinning, misses underneath.
First pitch to Bo Bichette, fastball down the middle, strike 1. Smith pitching on this mound for the first time since he was here in an amateur showcase in 2016. 0-1. Fouled back, 0-2. That showcase helped him make the junior national team, which he credits a lot to his career kind of taking off. Drafted out of high school, didn't sign, went to University of Hawaii and got unlucky that his draft year was 2020 where they cut it down to 5. So he signed as an undrafted free agent. 0-2 in the dirt.
Yeah, you can tell the stuff is really playing up. Elite, electric fastballs, a split right there. Good kind of sweeper action on the breaking ball. Herky-jerky motion. A lot going for him.
1-2. Bounced foul off the end of the bat into the first base dugout. Well, I'll see how you feel about this comp. Talking to Smith before the game, his dad, a big Blue Jays fan from Mississauga but lived out in BC, would compare him to Aaron Sanchez.
Oh, wow. Okay.
1-2. Swing and a liner foul, right field line.
And I had Sanchez really early on when he was blistering those 4s, 5s, 6s with good sink action. He was not an easy at-bat, especially once he established that sinker on the inner half. Ooh. You know, you felt like you took a swing, and no matter how far you tried to suck the hands, and the ball just felt like it was right on your knuckles every time.
1-2. High chopper to short on one bounce. Hits a second, speared by Jimenez. He'll throw to first and end the inning. The Blue Jays get a run on the Clement double and Schneider single, but the Canadian Cade Smith comes in and locks it down, getting all 3 outs in the bottom of the 6th. 3-1 Guardians go into the 7th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
We're 2menintruck.ca. We've got lots of men and lots of trucks, so get ready to be moved.
Think 2menintruck.ca. So when you gotta move, all moving day. Think 2menintruck.ca. Cause all of us movers are not the same. So that's our company name, 2menintruck.ca. We're lots of men with lots of trucks, so give us a call today.
Bring it in, Canada. When it comes to small business, Desjardins is a big fan. And not just the hop on the bandwagon fan. We're the in it for the long haul fan. The fan that's been there from the start. That's why Desjardins awarded 150 entrepreneurs with Good Spark grants worth $20,000 each. Because like any fan, there's nothing we love more than celebrating a goal!
See how Desjardins is cheering on small business at goodsparkgrants.ca.
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
For this life I cannot change. Hitting hills, deep off in the main.
This is George Springer, and you're listening to Toronto Blue Jays baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Seventh inning in downtown Toronto. Sun setting behind the dome of Rogers Center, an open roof day. A packed house here in the first of three against the Cleveland Guardians. Thanks so much for spending your Friday night with us. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Caleb Joseph. Pinch hitter for the Guardians, Tyler Freeman, leads off for Cleveland. First pitch to Freeman, called strike by Genesis Cabrera, 96-mile-per-hour fastball in the zone. 0-1. Freeman, a right-handed hitter, relieves Daniel Schneemann, the left-handed hitting center fielder. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Out in front of that changeup by Cabrera. He's got four-seamer, cutter, curveball, and change. He pulls the string there on the right-handed hitter to make it 0-2. Southpaw in the center at his chest. Twists and delivers. Swing and a bouncing ball hit to third, ranging to his left, picked up by Clement. Crow hop and throw to first on a line, 1 out.
Yeah, really like seeing kind of more of that curveball type of action for Cabrera. Early on, I saw quite a few kind of cutterish 89, 90, 91s early in the season, and I really feel like the separator, the speed separator, the break difference in the fastball that's 94, 95 moving one way, the real slow breaker, I think that's where his sweet spot really lies.
First pitch to Brian Rocchio. Checks his swing, curveball for called strike one.
And that's what I love. It's 80 miles per hour. It kind of slows you down. You got, if the fastball is at 94, you got almost 15 mile per hour difference. It's got break. I like that 1-2 combo for Cabrera.
0-1 pitch. Out in front is Rocchio on a changeup down and away. 0-2. Rocchio, a switch hitter, turned around to bat right. Today he's 1 for 2 hitting from the left side. He doubled in the fifth and came in to score. Bats much better as a lefty this year than the spot he's hitting right now, a righty. 243 as a lefty, 153 as a righty. 0-2. Called strike 3. Punched out by Eddings. A bit of a late call, but a changeup that did appear to hit the zone at the knees. 2 down.
Yeah, one of the tougher pitches to call. Well, catch, excuse me. As a catcher, you're kind of expecting that changeup to kind of be balanced. Danny's in his 2-point position. You got to really reach down underneath and try and get below the ball, kind of snag it right at the bottom. Danny did it perfectly. Got the call from Doug Eddings.
First pitch to Bo Naylor, swing and a miss. 0-1. Cabrera entered last inning, by the way, ending the day of Kevin Gausman, who goes 5 1/3, 8 hits, 3 runs all earned, no walks, 6 strikeouts. With 2 down, the 0-1. Bounce foul, 0-2. What did you think of Gausman?
Yeah, it was one of those tweener starts. We had talked about him being really good or really kind of giving it up, and I really feel like he battled through that start. You know, it just reiterates why velocity matters so much in today's game. If he's 95, 98, I think it looks a little bit different.
0-2 pitch is lined in a sliding stop at first on a hop by Guerrero. He races to the bag and gets the Canadian Bo Naylor to end the inning. 1, 2, 3 for Cabrera in the 7th. He's got 5 outs without allowing a base runner. We go to the 7th inning stretch with the Blue Jays down 3-1 to the Cleveland Guardians. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
We're 2 men and a truck. So, you're moving to a new home, and all that's left to do is to call a mover you know you can trust. Well, naturally, you think 2 men and a truck, since you know they have lots of men and lots of trucks. They'll wrap, pack, and move everything you own. With a 96% referral rating and the professionalism you can trust, the choice is simple. For a free in-home estimate, call today. We're 2 men and a truck.
2 men and a truck, the movers who care.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
I am by your side. Got a heart so big, on this you can rely. No mountains too tall for the strong boots to climb. I am by your side.
That was Desjardins Insurance, playing insurance with a heart so big it shows. Tune in for your auto and home coverage at desjardins.com/heart.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
The 0-2 pitch. Fastball, strike three looking.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Justin Turner spreads some dirt in the righty batter's box as we're about to start the bottom of the 7th inning at Rogers Center. First of 3 Blue Jays and Guardians, a tight one here in Toronto. It's 3-1 Cleveland. Turner, Springer, Kiner Falefa hit this inning against new reliever Scott Barlow, the former Royals closer. Righty kicks and delivers and drops a breaking ball into the inside part of the zone for strike one. Second relief arm that Stephen Vogt has gone to today. He's got the best bullpen by ERA in baseball. 0-1 pitch, high 1-1. 2.33 is the bullpen earned run average for the Guardians. Long-haired righty Barlow sets above his belt. Kicks and fires. Swing and a looper foul to the right into the stands. 1-2.
You said first in ERA in the big leagues. They're first in K percentage. They're first in whip. They're first in homers allowed. 193 opposing average. That's pretty good. That'll play.
Those are all pretty important. 1-2 pitch in the dirt, 2-2.
I'll tell you what it tells me is that they don't give it up. They don't give it up, especially via the long ball. And I think that's where the Blue Jays have been vulnerable, is it's get away with giving up some hits here and there. But if you give up the long ball out of the bullpen, you're going to blow some saves. You're going to lose some leads.
2-2. Swing and a line shot, hooking foul down the left field line. Blue Jays, conversely, are 28th in bullpen ERA in baseball, 4.88.
They've had a lot of difficulty with the home run ball. It's really been a problem from the Jays bullpen.
Barlow's 2-2. Check swing, breaking ball down and away, appeal to first, no swing. Says Chad Whitson, full count. For Barlow, he's going to lead with his breaking balls. Throws a ton of sliders, throws a ton of curveballs. More than 2/3 of his pitches will be those two. Has a four-seamer and a sinker in the low 90s. 3-2. Swinging a bouncer foul. That was a slow breaking ball. Slider at 81.
You know what's funny, Ben? As I watch the game, now that I'm kind of out of it, the more that I watch, you get to 3-2 counts. It used to be almost a predictable fastball count. Now it's almost a predictable breaking ball count.
3-2, swing and a miss, another breaking ball. Turner goes down, 1 out.
And of course, you just mentioned Barlow's usage, but it's just ironic, really, how the game has changed, that you get into a real clutch situation, 3-2. More times than not, I would say, you're going to get something in the off speed, whereas 5, 6, 7 years ago, it was almost always a heater. I'm not saying it's right or wrong either way, but it is odd.
Swing and a miss by George Springer on a first pitch slider, 0-1.
He's going to throw him, right? He's going to throw him. You're going to have to tattoo one to the opposite field to get him to get you with a fastball.
0-1. Bounce to the plate. And if you're looking for something against Barlow, as much as he throws the breaking balls, batters come into this game hitting in the 150s off his breaking balls and hitting over 400 off his fastballs.
There you go.
So you want to try and do damage with the rare fastball that you get. 1-1. Breaking ball lifted to left, high in the air, deep, but still some room out and left for Stephen Kwan. On the track, he makes the catch. 2 outs. Defensive change, by the way, for Cleveland. Pinch hitting last inning. Tyler Freeman was in the spot of Daniel Schneemann, and he takes over for Schneemann in center field. 2 down, 3-1. The Guardians leading the Blue Jays. Bottom of the 7th. Quick look on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. It's 3-1 Yankees over Red Sox, top of the 5th. Oswaldo Cabrera knocked in a run on an error by pitcher Brian Bayo. But then Boston got on the board. Emmanuel Valdez doubled in a run to make it 3-1 in the 5th. That's our look at the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Connor Falefa takes the first pitch for a ball. Here's the 1-0. Reluctantly went around on a breaking ball in the dirt, 1-1. IKF is 0 for 2. A ground ball into a double play and a flyout to right field. Barlow kicks and offers, and it's bounced to the backstop. Ricochets off the netting, 2-1. Scott Barlow acquired via trade from the Padres at the deadline. In the offseason. 2-1 pitch outside, 3-1. Spent most of his career, though, with the Royals. Came up with them in 2018 and was their closer from 2021 until halfway through last year when he was traded to the Padres at the deadline. 3-1. Connor Falefa takes down and away, ball 4. And in the bottom of the 7th with 2 down, the leading home run hitter for Toronto, Dalton Varsho, represents the tying run.
Yeah, this could be a nice matchup. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to face Barlow. Looks like there might be a change coming.
Stephen Vogt walking out, extending his left arm to the bullpen in right field. Varsho walks back to the dugout as well. So we'll see what the situation is coming up. But first, let's go back to baseball control with the Blue Jays down 3-1. A runner on first, bottom of the 7th and 2 outs. Here's our host today, Show Ali.
Thank you very much, guys. And before we check the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, a reminder that we do have Jays Talk tonight. Blair and Barker have the post-game show. Blair will throw out the numbers for you to call after the final out at the Rogers Center. All right, let's check the out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. Why don't we start in Dallas, where the NBA Finals continue tonight. The Boston Celtics now leading the series 3-0 in the best of 7. They did beat the Mavericks 106-99 in Game 3. Game 4 is on the go right now. The Mavericks up 25-14 in the first quarter as the Mavericks looking to avoid being swept at home. Earlier, Celtics head coach Joe Mazzulla had said that Kristaps Porzingis is available off the bench this evening despite that very rare leg injury, but he will only be used in very specific situations. So not a lot of minutes for Porzingis in this one, certainly so far. Now 25-16 with 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Either way, right now you can watch that game on Sportsnet. Let's check out the Stanley Cup playoffs as well. No hockey tonight, but the Florida Panthers up 3-0 in the Stanley Cup final on the Edmonton Oilers. The Cats winning 4-3 last night. Game 4 is in Edmonton at Rogers Place tomorrow evening. The Cup will be in the building from here on out. Puck drop tomorrow evening is at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on Sportsnet and the CBC. And some scores from around Major League Baseball. Atlanta leading Tampa 7-1, top of the 6th inning. The Yankees on top of the Red Sox 3-1. The Astros and Tigers tied 0-0, top of the 4th inning, and the Athletics leading the Twins 4-1, bottom of the 3rd inning. Blue Jays baseball is brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Let's get you back to the action down to the Rogers Center. Here's Ben Schulman and Caleb Joseph.
Thank you very much, Joe. Big point in this ball game. The left-hander Sam Hentges in to face Dalton Varsho. John Schneider pinch hits Alejandro Kirk, who represents the tying run. Bottom of the 7th, 2 down, and a runner on first. 3-1, the Guardians lead the Blue Jays. Hentges, the 27-year-old Minnesotan, making his 14th appearance of the year. 2.70 earned run average, 16 strikeouts, 1 walk in 13 1/3 innings. He starts Kirk out with strike 1. Connor Falefa with a big lead off first, facing the lefty reliever who kicks and fires. Kirk will take in the dirt, 1-1.
Kirk had a couple really nice swings in Milwaukee. Home run to left field. Almost had another one in the 9th to center field.
1-1 pitch called strike 1 and 2.
Looks like he's been swinging the bat a little bit better, a little bit more speed and whip into that bat. And, you know, when he's going gap to gap is when he's starting to go really well. And that last at bat in Milwaukee looked really good to me.
1-2. Swing and a foul tip off the catcher Fry. Yeah, that last one in Milwaukee hit one to deep center with the bases loaded. Ended up going down as a loud sac fly for the Blue Jays. They fell 1 run short. And a 5-4 loss to the Brewers. And the home run you mentioned, a 405-foot blast, hit 110 off the bat to left field. With 2 down, the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Had him out in front of the breaking ball. Kirk strikes out, and that will do it for the 7th. 1 left on, the 2-out walk by IKF. 3-1. The Guardians lead the Blue Jays going to the 8th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
In the village of Pinehurst, North Carolina, where Payne Stewart won his 3rd and final major title, Gary Williams sits down with Stewart's caddy, Mike Hicks, to reflect on their connection.
We became best friends.
The putt.
Didn't think he would make it.
And the crash.
I miss him.
Listen to Payne and Me and browse the entire catalog of golf originals. Search PGA Tour radio specials on the SiriusXM app.
The South Carolina Gamecocks are on top of the women's college basketball world yet again.
Perfection for South Carolina. 38 games, 38 wins.
We're reacting to the perfect season and talking to the biggest names right here on Channel 374.
Congratulations, Coach Saley. What does this particular title mean to you?
This title is pretty special because it was unexpected.
Keep it locked into SiriusXM SEC Radio as we continue to break it all down and celebrate the Gamecocks' 3rd national title.
Blue Jays fans, your manager, John Schneider, joins MLB Network Radio every other Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern.
Hopefully you get a couple guys going at the same time, and we're just looking for consistency. It's been tough, it's been frustrating at times, but also feel good about the progress that certain guys have made and that the progress that we've made in terms of, our prep and our work.
Managers at the mic on MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM 89 and the SiriusXM app.
In season or out of season, the number one place for college sports is SiriusXM College Sports Radio, Channel 84.
Radio Network.
Eighth inning in Toronto. Still a packed house at Rogers Center. A tight ball game. It's 3-1 Guardians in the first of 3. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Caleb Joseph. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight. Brendan Little comes on for the Blue Jays in the 8th. Second reliever, second lefty John Schneider uses today. And Little with some positive momentum, making his 8th appearance of the year, a 6.5 ERA. But you look at 2 appearances he made in Milwaukee. He pitched 3 scoreless innings against a tough Brewers offense.
Put up numbers. Put up numbers. You put up zeros. Trying to fight for a spot in this bullpen. He's got a little variance. He's got a little variance with the fastball, a little sneak with the fastball. These lefties, you get outs, you're going to pitch.
He deals with the top of the order. First pitch to Steven Kwan, just inside 1-0. Defensive change for the Blue Jays. Kevin Kiermaier's in center after they pinch hit Alejandro Kirk for Dalton Varsho. Kiermaier comes in to shore up the outfield. Ernie Clement in on the infield turf at third. Here's the 1-0 to Kwan. Up and in. Little following up an inning and 2/3 of scoreless ball from Genesis Cabrera. Didn't allow a base runner, one of his better appearances of the year. 2-0. Swing and a ground ball foul, bouncing off the bench just over the fence of the first base dugout. 2-1. I mentioned the fastball variance. It's a cutter and a sinker for Little, and then he also has a curveball. Lefties 2-1. Just a hair inside. 3 balls, 1 strike. Let's go Blue Jays chance here at Rogers Center. Little into the set at the belt. Here's 3-1. Called strike. Fastball at the top of the zone. That was the sinker. Now it's 3-2.
Got to make Kwan put the ball in play right here. Cannot give him a free pass. 2-run game. Got to make him put it in play.
3-2. Swing and a chopper. Hit to first. Guerrero fields it. Flips back to Little, covering, who lunges to the bag for the first out.
just like what I'm seeing out of Little. It's 92, 94 with a little sinker action. He can maneuver it up in the zone. He can move it into lefties. Reminds me of a pitcher that I had, Richard Blyer, where the movement doesn't look really drastic on television, but it does feel drastic as a hitter, and you just don't have a lot of guys squaring it up. He can cut it away from him. I love the kind of variance with the breaking ball. Ways to defend himself, but definitely the ability to get a left-hander out with that kind of running fastball, cutter, slider, sweeper-ish type of breaking ball.
First pitch to Andres Jimenez, left on left, runs in 1-0. Blyer hung around for a long time. Blue Jays saw him as a Yankee, as an Oriole, as a Red Sox. He also pitched with Miami.
And maybe only threw 91, 92, but had such weird movements that it really threw a lot of hitters off.
1-0. Called strike. Puts a sinker right on the outside corner, bottom of the zone.
Yeah, and I always thought that the best left-handed relievers, unless you had a really plus 98-mile-an-hour fastball like a Chapman or a heavy sinker like Zach Britton, they had to locate in to a left-handed hitter. Locate a fastball in.
Swing and a miss. 1-1 fastball on the inner half, 1-2.
And it really sets up for the entire at-bat. You know you're probably wanting to get him with something soft away, but if you don't establish something on the inner half, they'll just kind of be leaning out over. I love the action of this two-seamer and the fact that he's able to start it on the inner half. Now he's got him set up. He can go slow breaking ball. He can go wherever he wants here.
1-2 pitch is a breaking ball, chopped to the third base side, fielded by Little, turns, rifles to first, not in time. Pretty good play by the pitcher, but he didn't really have a shot on the swinging bunt. It's an infield single.
Yeah, it was a fantastic play by Little. Even better pitch. And if it's even possible, an even better piece of hitting. And you talk about adjustability in a swing. Jimenez is not known for his bat, known for his glove, but that pitch is 4 inches outside, just kind of throws the barrel at it. Tush going to the first base side, barrel going to the third base side, perfectly placed for an infield hit.
Jimenez on first pitch to Jose Ramirez, called strike one, sneaks a sinker right down the middle. So a 2-hit day now for Andres Jimenez, who knocked in the third run for the Guardians. Cleveland up 3-1, one out top of the eighth. Jimenez also stole a base in the fifth inning, his 11th of the year. Little staring at him, kicks, fires home. Swinging a bouncing ball up the middle, this could be two. Fielded by IKF, steps on second, throws to first, long stretch by Guerrero to end the inning. A 4-3 double play and a scoreless frame by Brendan Little. We go to the bottom of the eighth. Clement, Schneider, and Jansen to hit for the Blue Jays. 3-1 Guardians. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Buck Martinez, live from the showdown between pizza, and inflation. First to the plate, with over 2 million sold, it's Fixed Rate Pizza, a hot and fresh extra-large 4-topping pizza for a fixed price of $17.99 until the end of 2024. Here's the delivery. And inflation strikes out. That's a swing and a drive for Fixed Rate Pizza. Lock in yours today.
Order pizza.ca.
Bring it in, Canada. When it comes to small business, Desjardins is a big fan. And not just the hop-on-the-bandwagon fan. We're the in-it-for-the-long-haul fan. The fan that's been there from the start. That's why Desjardins awarded 150 entrepreneurs with Good Spark grants worth $20,000 each. Because like any fan, there's nothing we love more than celebrating a goal!
See how Desjardins is cheering on small business at goodsparkgrants.ca.
The hardest work should lead to the best quality of life. If you're a skilled trades worker, you might not be feeling that way right now. But in Alberta, skilled trades workers can earn more, save more, and live more with better wages and a lower cost of living. Visit albertaiscalling.ca to learn more about the $5,000 moving bonus for the first 2,000 skilled trades workers who move to Alberta, stay for a year, and successfully apply. A message from the Government of Alberta.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
He makes the catch, and the Blue Jays win the ball game.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership or the Sportsnet Radio Network. Hunter Gaddis, the setup man in for Cleveland, throws a first pitch by Spencer Horwitz, the pinch hitter, and we're underway in the bottom of the 8th inning. 3-1 Guardians over Blue Jays. Gaddis, the righty, in his 33rd game of the year, 1.72 ERA. 0-1. Swing and a miss by Horwitz. 0-2. Horwitz, the pinch hitter, 7 for 18 to start his year, although he comes in for a 2 for 2 Ernie Clement, who has 2 doubles and the 1 Blue Jays run. On bench, Schulman alongside Caleb Joseph. Bearded righty Gaddis steps back, kicks, fires. Inside, Horwitz twists and falls back out of the way.
They got some big boys coming out of this bullpen. Gaddis, 6'6", 250. That's Kevin Barker big right there. We just saw Cade Smith, 6'5", 230. Wow.
1-2. Foul tipped back. No relation, but he'd stand pretty well beside Evan Gaddis, the lumberjack who spent a lot of time with Houston. This is an intimidating dude, Hunter
That's
Gaddis.
A great call. That is a really nice comp.
1-2. Down and in. Missed with the breaking ball at 88. Hunter Gaddis, long hair peeking out of the hat, thick beard, shields his face with his glove. 2-2. Slow breaking ball up and away, 3-2.
I remember facing Dylan Betances in New York, like 6'7". Man, that was a scary at-bats. Scary.
3-2 pitch. Fastball fouled off. But actually make that the slider all the way up at 91 for Gaddis, who hits easy high 90s with the four-seamer.
Yeah, it's a tough at-bat, and Horwitz is hanging in there. He's kind of known for his ability to get on base. Blue Jays would love a base runner right here.
3-2. Swing and a fly ball, shallow center. Freeman started back. He'll run in now. Shortstop Rocchio going out. Slide, and Freeman makes the play, taking it just before it hit the turf and taking a bloop single away from Horwitz. 1 down.
Yeah, that was a really, really unique play. As Freeman's kind of not in the picture at all, and out of nowhere, he's kind of sliding on one knee and just kind of picks the ball right off of the ground, inches away from a base hit.
First pitch to Davis Schneider outside, 1-0.
Kind of in that Bermuda Triangle area, everyone had stopped except for Freeman, who just out of nowhere found a way to grab it.
1-0 pitch outside. Hear the grunt there from Gaddis. 2 balls, no strikes. Freeman initially made a bad break on the ball going back. He is off the bench, just playing in his second defensive inning. But he made up for it in a big way. 2-0 pitch to Schneider. Swing and a line shot. Speared on a hop. Spinning is Rocchio. Turns, throws on a hop to first. And that's another good defensive play as Rocchio just spin to the backhand side, threw off the turf. There are 2 down.
With the speed of the ball coming off the bat of Schneider, you've got plenty of time as a shortstop. It's kind of top spun, one of those weird tweener hops. He's moving backwards, knocks it down, spins around, throws off the wrong foot. But what I've seen so much lately is when you're off balance, guys are one-hopping it to ensure that it's in the tagging zone for the first baseman. That's exactly what he did.
First pitch to Danny Jansen outside, 1-0.
So many players, when they're scrambling after they don't pick it cleanly, they'll try and throw it all the way, and when you're on your back heels, it's a very easy play to airmail.
1-0 pitch, freezes Jansen, strike 1.
And I'll say that's where I think I've seen a lot of development in the game in the last 3 to 5 years is in a scramble, and you're moving away from the target. So many guys are one-hopping it now, and it gets there in plenty of time.
1-1 pitch outside, 2-1. You know, if you airmail a ball, it doesn't matter how hard you threw it, you're not getting the guy out.
Never.
Even if there's a chance you're going to be late, if you give the first baseman a chance, you might get the out.
It's the same thing I was taught as a catcher. If you're going to miss low, because a miss high is you have no shot, in the same way that if you miss a free throw short, you never have a shot.
2-1 pitch, called strike. Slider down the middle, 2-2. 3-1. The Guardians are leading the Blue Jays. 2 outs, bases empty, bottom 8. Last Toronto hit came in the 6th. the Davis Schneider RBI single. 2-2 to Jansen. Swing and a miss. Down to a knee on the slow breaking ball. He strikes out, and that will do it for the 8th. A 1-2-3 inning for Gaddis. A couple nice defensive plays and a strikeout to send us to the 9th. 3-1 Guardians. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Bobby Brown,
Johnny Gill,
Ralph Tresvant,
and Belle Biv DeVoe
all have one thing in common. New Edition.
Rediscover the boy band that defined a generation.
Their hits from the beginning
and massive solo successes.
New Edition Radio.
Throughout Black Music Month in the SiriusXM app. Now, for a limited time on Channel 79.
Are you regretting eating that gas station hot dog? Yeah, we know. We've been there too. This is a message for baseball fans like you. Did you know that you get a channel that's talking baseball 24/7 as part of your SiriusXM subscription?
What?
Our lineup includes shows hosted by former big leaguers and executives. Plus, you'll hear from 17 managers each week. MLB Network Radio is on SiriusXM Channel 89. Or just search MLB Network Radio on the SXM app. SiriusXM Sports. We're more than just a game.
Hey everyone, it's Brian Geltzeiler from SiriusXM NBA Radio. The NBA draft begins on June 26th, and we're your home for all the action. Hear non-stop coverage on all our shows.
Mark it down. That guy is going to be a star in this league.
Exclusive interviews.
We are now joined by Bronny James.
I just found happiness in what I'm doing right now, and I feel like that's where I want myself to be at.
And every pick on the big night.
With the first pick,
your home for the 2024 draft is NBA Radio, Channel 86, and the all-new SiriusXM app. Just search NBA Radio.
Blue Jays fans, John Schneider joins MLB Network Radio every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern on SiriusXM 89 and the SiriusXM app, a Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman. To my left is Caleb Joseph, Show Ali, our host and producer, Andrew Adams and Tom Young, our technical directors. 3-1 Guardians over Blue Jays. Top of the 9th inning, Brendan Little, lefty, on for a second inning of work. He faced the minimum in the 8th inning against the top 3 in the order. He now starts with Josh Naylor, the cleanup hitter and left-handed hitter for the Guardians. First pitch from Little is hit on a line right at Vlad at first. He skipped over one step toward the line and made the catch with 2 hands. 1 pitch, 1 out for Little.
I'll say one thing, if there is a positive in this game, you're loving the work of Cabrera and Little. Looks like Little's work might be finished, Ben.
David Fry, the right-handed hitting catcher, is scheduled to hit next. Blue Jays had a righty getting loose in the pen. John Schneider is out to the mound. He claps his hands, takes the ball from Little, who gets 4 outs, only allows an infield hit, which he erased with a double play. And here comes Zach Pop out of the pen. Let's go back to baseball control with today's host, Show Ali.
Thank you very much, Ben. Another reminder before we check the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill, that we do have Jays Talk this evening. Jeff Blair and Kevin Barker have the post-game show. Jeff will throw out the numbers for you to call after this game is in the books. All right, let's check that St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Some scores from around Major League Baseball. We'll continue checking the scores in the AL East. So Phillies at Orioles, they were up 2-1 early on. Philadelphia, Kyle Schwarber with his 14th home run of the season. It was a solo shot, but Anthony Santander, just a couple of minutes ago actually, with a solo home run of his own, he ties the game 2-2, which is where we sit right now, bottom of the 9th inning in Baltimore. 2 outs already, so if they don't score here, we will see extras at Camden Yards. Rays at Braves. Atlanta now leading 7-2. Marcell Ozuna hitting a 2-run bomb. It was his 19th of the season. Austin Riley also crushing a 2-run bomb, his 4th of the season. Riley also had an RBI double earlier in that game. Yankees at Red Sox, bottom 5 at Fenway Park. A pretty big night for Alex Verdugo in his return to Fenway Park. He hit a 2-run bomb and had an RBI double. Anthony Rizzo also with an RBI single. New York now up 5-1. And the NBA Finals continuing right now. The Boston Celtics leading 3-0 in the best-of-7 series. They beat the Mavericks 106-99 in Game 3. Right now with 8 minutes to go in the second quarter, Dallas is up 39-25, now 40-25. You can watch that game on Sportsnet. Blue Jays baseball is brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Let's get you back to the action at the Rogers Center. Here's Ben Schulman and Caleb Joseph.
Thank you, Joe. Zach Pop on the mound for the Blue Jays. 1 out, bases empty. Top of the ninth, 3-1 Guardians. His pitch to David Fry. Swing and a kilometer-high pop-up middle of the diamond. Spencer Horwitz, who's in at second now, makes the call and makes the catch. 2 down. Horwitz had pinch hit, so he's in at second in the spot of Clement, and IKF's moved to third where Clement was playing.
I like that call. Kilometer high. That's exactly right. A mile high. See, I'm getting to the point where I'm getting close to the calculations of kilometer, mile, but I like that because
why not?
It did seem like it was a very high fly ball.
First pitch to Will Brennan, swinging bunt, bounces behind the plate, 0-1. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but do you know what 1 mile is in kilometers?
Is it like 1.2 or something?
You're close. It's 1.6.
Okay, yeah.
1.6. So 2 miles, about 3 kilometers.
Nice. Okay, 2 to 3. Perfect.
0-1 pitch outside. 1-1.
It turned out to be a perfect night for baseball here.
Absolutely. Sun's still just kind of getting down, almost at full sunset. 1-1. High, 2-1. And not a cloud in the sky today. It was 30-something degrees most of the day. Really good.
Yeah, this is one of the things I loved about playing here this time of year is you're sweating, but controlled as a player. It's just very comfortable.
2-1. Outside, 3-1. I can imagine in Baltimore at times uncontrollable sweating. I mean, I don't think it gets much more humid than there.
Awful. And was out on the golf course yesterday, and a lot of my friends were, it's so hot today. I'm going, this is perfect out here.
3-1 pitch. Check swing, bouncer up the middle. Barehanded by Bichette at short. Sidearm throw to first. In time to make the play. Highlight reel from Bo at short. Charging, gathering, and releasing in one motion. He gets the second out for Zach Pop in the ninth. All 3 outs in the ninth. Made quickly by Blue Jay pitching. Will go to the bottom half with Toronto down 3-1. Need 2 runs to extend this game. Guerrero, Bichette, and Turner to hit. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Not tomorrow, not someday. The home improvements begin today. It's game on with Timber Mart. Build that deck, raise that fence, landscape till your property is beautiful. Don't pay for 12 months on the Timber Mart deferred payment program. Your locally owned, completely Canadian hub of building and renovation expertise. Get your Timber Mart credit card at participating locations and pay later. 12 months later. Conditions apply. Ask in store for details or apply at timbermart.ca.
Hi, I'm Buck Martinez, live from the showdown between Pizza and inflation. First to the plate, Pizza's big hitter, fixed rate pizza. An extra large 4-topping pizza for a fixed price of $17.99 until the end of 2024. I dare say, folks, inflation stands no chance against this all-star. Here's the delivery. And inflation strikes out. That's a swing and a drive for fixed rate pizza. Lock in yours today.
Order pizza.ca.
Hey, this is Trevor Richards. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to Blue Jays Baseball. Show Ali with you at Baseball Control. Jays trail the Guardians 3-1 as we head to the bottom of the ninth at the Rogers Center. Don't forget, we do have Jays Talk following the game. Blair and Barker have the post-game show. Jeff will throw out the numbers for you to call after the final out. Blue Jays Baseball is brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Jays trail the Guardians 3-1 as we head to the bottom of the ninth inning at the Rogers Center. Here's Ben Schulman and Caleb Joseph.
Thank you very much, Joe. Like you said, bottom 9 at Rogers Center. Still a packed house of over 36,000 here in the opener of this series. 3-1, the Guardians lead the Blue Jays. Toronto needs 2 runs to extend this game, and they're going to have to try and get them against one of the best closers in all of baseball, if not the best. The American League saves leader with 20 on the year, Emmanuel Clase is in the game.
Better get it ready. I'd be looking for a 33-inch bat. It's moving all over the place. You better be ready to hit. And he does have kind of, what's the word? Effectively wild tendencies because the movement is so big. Sometimes these guys are the hardest ones to hit off of because they're in the zone just enough to keep you honest, but it's the wild movements that will get you to chase, especially that That running fastball, oh my goodness. Like, days like this make me not worry about not playing anymore.
First pitch to Guerrero's 100 inside. He backs out of the way, 1-0. 3-1 Guardians. Class A, the major league leader in saves each of the last 2 years with 42 and 44 in 2022 and 2023. 1-0. Inside again at 101. Guerrero back it off the plate, 2-0. He's got a cutter that averages 99 and a slider that he'll use sparingly. That's around 90. 2-0. Drops a fastball in the zone at 100 to make it 2 balls, 1 strike.
At a casual 100.
It is just tough. He's in his 4th year closing for Cleveland. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a foul off to the right, 2-2.
I remember seeing him. I was with Seattle. He was in town. And he just could not find the strike zone. I believe he walked maybe 4 in a row, and they had to pull him out of the game. And you just saw the stuff was so electric. You just wondered if he'd be able to throw enough strikes. And, man, has he figured it out.
2-2. Called strike 3. 101 on the outside corner. Guerrero goes down looking.
Yeah, it's perfect pitch. First couple pitches of the at-bat running up and into Guerrero Jr. Kind of has that one pitch in the middle of the at-bat that looks like you might be able to put something on it, and then he dots down and away. It's just at that velocity to get a ball up close to you and then down and away. That down and away pitch looks so far away after you've seen 101 near your face.
The pitch to Bo. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. 101 up and in. When you saw him, was he with Texas at that point when you were with Seattle, or was he already with Cleveland?
I think he was first-year player with Cleveland.
0-1. Swing and a slow rolling ball to short. Charging in Rocchio. Gloves. Transfers. Throws to first. Bichette is down. And the Blue Jays are down to their last chance here with Justin Turner.
You know, he throws that cutter, but it almost sometimes has sinker action. And so you don't really get all the way over it. The velocity picks up, and it kind of drifts towards the inner part of a right-handed hitter, kind of acting as a sinker. And so you know that pitch is supposed to be moving away from you, and it can really mess with your brain as well.
First pitch to Turner, hit foul, 0-1. Guardians today chipped away at the Blue Jays. Hit 4 doubles off Kevin Gausman. Double by Will Brennan to lead off the second heat score. Solo homer by Will Brennan in the 4th. Brian Rocchio doubled to start the 5th. He scored as Turner bounces a ball to second. Picked up by Jimenez, gets up and throws to first. The Blue Jays come up with their only run in the 6th. Emmanuel Clase with a quick save. And the Guardians take the opener of the series, 3-1 over the Blue Jays.
Yeah, I thought it was one of those in-between starts for Kevin Gausman. Really had to battle. Didn't have kind of the 95 to 98 that we have seen in the past. He might be in a kind of a bit of a transition phase, using that sinker a little bit more. He had probably, I'd say, B- stuff, probably B- location. But the Guardians are able to kind of scrap a few runs here and there, a couple doubles, leadoff doubles, solo homer by Brenneman. They just kind of worked the count. They got barreled to baseball when they needed to with runners in scoring position. And then you look at the opposite. You look at the Blue Jays. They're facing Logan Allen, left-hander that kind of in that 90 to 93 mile-an-hour range with the fastball. His sweeper, changeup, cutter. He threw 62% fastballs. And it is his worst pitch. And I think that tells the story that a pitcher that has not had success with the fastball throws 62% to the Blue Jays. I can only, on my scorecard, Ben, I can only see a liner from Bo Bichette in the 4th and an Ernie Clement double in the 6th off of the fastball. They were actually squared. And yes, he does have some deception. Yes, he's using different parts of the plate, but in-game analytics would have told me, okay, I might have been sitting soft early on, but my second at-bat off of him or beyond would have been getting on that fastball. And I truly believe if this offense wants to get where they want to go, they have got to sell out to hitting a fastball no matter who's on the mound. And it did not happen in this game. And, of course, they handed over, Cleveland does, to their bullpen, who's been lights out. They've been just about the best in the big leagues in all the major categories. It's an offense that's lackluster, and for me, it all stems to not being able to hit the old number one. And until they can do that on a consistent basis, I don't think there's really anything else to analyze. So hopefully they can come out tomorrow and maybe get on Carrasco's fastball and then start to work from there.
Blue Jays lose 3-1 on a day. They pick up 3 hits. We will take a quick step aside, come back, wrap this one up, and send you over to Blue Jays Talk with Blair and Barker. Don't go anywhere. Guardians win 3-1. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Bring it in, Canada. When it comes to small business, Desjardins is a big fan. And not just the hop-on-the-bandwagon fan. We're the in-it-for-the-long-haul fan. The fan that's been there from the start. That's why Desjardins awarded 150 entrepreneurs with Good Spark grants worth $20,000 each. Because like any fan, there's nothing we love more than celebrating a goal!
See how Desjardins is cheering on small business at goodsparkgrants.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
First pitch swinging, Danny Jansen rocks a ball to left. It's gone!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to Rogers Center. Blue Jays lose the first of 3 against the Cleveland Guardians. 3-1 is the final score in downtown Toronto. Appreciate you sticking around. We'll get you over to Blue Jays Talk in just a second. But to look back at this one, just some of the facts and figures. Today, Logan Allen got the win for Cleveland. A 5+ inning start, 3 hits, 1 run, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. The Blue Jays only mustered that run in the 6th. Ernie Clement hit his second double of the game in the 6th inning. Davis Schneider knocked him in for his team-leading 33rd RBI of the season. Kevin Gausman comes up with the loss, 5 1/3. 8 hits, 3 earned runs, no walks, 6 strikeouts. Will Brennan had a big day with a home run and a double. He would score twice. And for Allen, it ended up being his 7th win of the year. He's 7-3. Gausman now 5-5. Emmanuel Clase, part of a lockdown bullpen effort, as Caleb mentioned before the break. 4 innings of hitless ball by the Guardians' pen. They did use 5 different relievers, but Clase in a 1-2-3 ninth picks up his American League leading 21st of the year. A rapid game at 2 hours and 22 minutes with only 12 hits to show. Cleveland with 3 runs on 9 hits, no errors, 3 left. Toronto with 1 run on 3 hits, no errors, 4 left. 37,000 here on Pride Night in Toronto. Caleb, the Blue Jays looking to bounce back tomorrow. It's going to be likely a Bowden-Francis Day for Toronto. On the other side, the veteran Carlos Carrasco pitches for the Guardians. If the Blue Jays are going to do more, what are they going to see from Carrasco, and what are you looking for from Toronto?
Yeah, they're going to see the kitchen sink. They're going to see the changeup, slider, sinker, four-seam, sweeper, you name it. He's going to be a master of manipulating the strike zone, pushing and pulling, trying to get you off balance. I figure all of those different pitches allows him to pitch to hitters' weaknesses, and so you got to go up there and try and be disciplined. We've talked about this ad nauseum with this offense, is being able to limit certain pitches, zones. You're going to have to do it against Carrasco. He's a veteran. He knows how to locate. He knows what he's doing. The breaking ball run value has been okay. That's probably where he's going to go to in a jam. So it's all about your game plan and then obviously your execution. But Blue Jays have got to find a way to really create some traffic, hopefully score first. That's a big stat for them. It's going to have to come from discipline and execution.
Blue Jays did not score first today, did not score much. They lose 3-1 to the Cleveland Guardians. They fall to 33-36. The Guardians increased their lead in the American League Central. They're now 44-23. Likely Bowden-Francis, but not confirmed, against Carlos Carrasco at 3:07 tomorrow. Hope you can join us then. Show Ali will have the pregame show starting at 2 Eastern before the 3:07 first pitch. Game coverage will start at 3. For my partner, Caleb Joseph, host and producer Show Ali, and technical directors Tom Young and Andrew Adams, I'm Ben Schulman. Thank you again for tuning in tonight. Hope you have a good rest of your night and hope to see you tomorrow. Get your thoughts heard. Blue Jays Talk with Blair and Barker starts right now.
All right, thank you very much, Ben Shulman. And yes, indeed, get your thoughts heard. Because Kevin, I don't know what thoughts I have. 416-870. I do, but I would like the station to retain its broadcasting license. So 416-870-0590.
What's the matter?
Star 590 1-888-666-0590.
You write this stuff down?
No, clearly not. I did keep score of the game, though, Kevin, and I've got...
How much you write down?
Well, I've got the middle of the order, the meat of the lineup, 0 for 10 with 4 strikeouts and 1 ball hit into the air. Hey, look, I mean, Logan Allen, your favorite line, and it's not, I don't think you can copyright it. I think a lot of folks have said it. But the opposing team, and in this case, the opposing pitcher, will tell you what they think of you. And it's pretty clear that the Cleveland Guardians don't think much of the Blue Jays' ability to hit the fastball.
Yeah, Logan Allen had 284 pitches, 252 fastballs. The Blue Jays had 1 hit off the 52 fastballs. Look, and he's topping out at 93, 94. And he's more pitching at 91, 92. It's not like he's rearing back and giving it to him at 101. It's mainly 91, 92, 93, somewhere in that range. And it's entered third. I mean, it's not always perfect with that. Again, it's can they, or is it approach? Is it game plan? By now, I think it's just results oriented. We can forget about thinking or wondering what it is. They're not getting it done. That's the bottom line. I mean, you can say what you want about Kevin's velocity. I mean, they gave up 3 runs.
Yeah,
the bullpen was good. I mean, the 2 lefties coming out of the pen were good enough. They held a first place team at home
to 3 runs.
3 runs.
Yep.
But they scored 1 run and they only had 3 hits. So, I mean, it's like Groundhog Day. We've been talking about this for two seasons now. It's the same old thing, right? It's the pitching does exactly what they were supposed to do, and then offensively, you mentioned it. The meat of the order is not getting it done. I mean, again, that's. I don't think there's any other way now we can say it. It's the other teams that come in here, their better players are getting it done, and the Blue Jays' better players are not. It's real simple.
Listen, I think, we've said this, and I think we've been pretty clear of this. I mean, we're long past the idea that you're going to find an answer to what ails this team internally. Hey, we're long past. We were past that point halfway through last year. So it's up to the general manager to either make a deal to turn this offense around or at least make it better. And yes, that is hard to do at this time of year.
Tough.
I agree. But it's either that or I think you start shipping some folks out. And, I'm not saying you back up the truck and throw everybody out, but I'm sorry, Kevin Biggio and Daniel Vogelbach, they were part of the problem. They weren't, a major, I don't think anyhow, major contributors to the problem. I think it's time. I think it's time for a little bold action here. And I don't know, maybe we're begging. Certainly there's no indication from this front office that they feel, I mean, they'll talk about a sense of urgency. I've yet to see it. I don't necessarily think calling up Spencer Horwitz and, after taking 3 weeks to deliberate, calling up Spencer Horwitz and then bringing up Addison Barger, that to me I don't detect a sense of urgency there. So I don't know. Until something's done, and this isn't, it's out of the manager's hands, it's out of the coaching staff's hands. This isn't on the hitting coaches anymore. This is on the front office. Ross has got to do something. And if Ross doesn't do anything, well,
rinse and repeat. ...
I'll let you imagine where I would go with it. 416-870-0590, star 590, 1-888-666-0590. So Kevin Gausman's velocity down roughly 2.5 miles per hour. Let's deal with that right away before we get to the calls. Ethan in Foothills, Alberta, will get to you. Just give me a second here. But want to deal with that first of all. 109 pitches in his previous start against Oakland. Yes, he had the extra day off.
Yeah.
Do you attribute the loss of velocity tonight to that game Do you think it was something deliberate on the part of Kevin? In other words, he's trying to find a different pitch mix. How do you view that? Because, again, it's not like he crapped the bed. No. He didn't crap the bed, but he was throwing an average of 2.5 miles an hour less than his average pitch. Yeah,
I've said this to you before. He's pitched a ton. I mean, he's doing this with 2 pitches now.
He's basically, it's not like he's trying to reinvent himself, but he's trying to add a wrinkle, isn't he?
I mean, he's trying to get. There was 8 lefties in the lineup tonight. I mean, yeah, you almost have to be perfect here, both sides of the plate, right? You got to be real fine with the fastballs that you do throw in, and you got to be almost perfect with the balls down and away. So you're trying to do it to different sides of the plate, and not so much different quadrants, because he ain't much of a pitcher out there most of the time. He's more of a, I'm going to get after you, big part of the zone. I ain't going to nibble with you. But when you got 8 lefties in the lineup, Jeff, you got to do a little something right, and he's trying to add and subtract. Yeah, I don't think this is on purpose. The velocity all over the place is, for me anyway, I think we've seen too much of this. I just think it's because he's had a long career and he's pitched a lot. Yeah. I think that's what it is.
Well, that's it's an old team. It's an older team. It's an older pitching staff. I mean, them's just the facts.
Tip your hat, though. The dude didn't give up too many runs.
No.
I mean, he gave him a chance.
No.
To do something offensively and
what is it? He held the 4th best offense in baseball, I do believe, statistically, up among that rankings. He held them to 3 runs, and Will Brennan.
That's a decent pitch. I mean, it's when you got to go both sides of the plate and you got to be perfect.
Yep.
You can't miss a little up against that many lefties.
Ethan in Foothills, Alberta. Thanks for your patience, my friend. You're on Blue Jays Talk.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. Just kind of wanted your comments. As I was watching that 9th inning, I just felt like it was a perfect encapsulation of the Blue Jays season, where they're down, they're running behind, and the big boys, or the guys who are supposed to be the big boys, come up to the plate. And Vladdy had an okay plate appearance, but Bo and Turner, leaving a considerable amount to be desired from them. And even at the end of the top of the 9th, before the commercial came in, you just heard, I don't remember if it was Joe or Dan, but they just said, Blue Jays down to their last chance. And I just went, well, how many times have the Blue Jays games come down to their last chance, and the offense just hasn't delivered? And I suppose you could say, okay, well, it's against Class A.
He's
but
good.
If the Blue Jays somehow sneak into the wild card, it's the playoffs. It's not like you're facing the Double-A call-up for the Rockies in Game 1 of the wild card, right? It's always going to be, well, it was against blank,
yep,
right? And just right in the name of a future Hall of Famer.
I mean,
yeah,
no, listen, I just hang on the line for a minute. You're absolutely right. Look, Cleveland's bullpen is great. The weakness you were going to find with the Cleveland pitching tonight was the starter. You had to get to the starter. You had to score some runs against the starter, because if they had the lead on you, you were not scoring against that bullpen. You damn sure ain't scoring against Emmanuel Clase. And I don't know if that's necessarily just a Vladdy, Bo, and Justin Turner thing. I think there are a lot of teams in baseball, a lot of good hitters in baseball, that have a hard time hitting that guy, Kevin.
Yeah, well, I think it's sort of the entire game from inning 1 till
Ethan.
9. It's velocity and it's the fastball. That's, again, Jeff, I don't know what's going on behind closed doors, or what the meeting's all about, and what the game plans are. I just know they look really late on fastballs.
And they have the first from the get-go, from jump.
The first guy don't. Yeah, I've been saying that forever. The first guy didn't throw very hard. I mean, you can't make that an excuse, right? I know they have trouble with, velocity above 95 miles an hour. That dude didn't throw that.
Kevin, they had a 6-pitch first inning.
Yeah.
And Vladdy swung at the first pitch. They had a
it's right down the middle.
They had a 6-pitch first inning.
To the moon.
They had a 6-pitch first inning against a guy that. Anyhow, I just, the first inning, you've had everything should be fresh in your mind. I mean, we've gone over this and over this and over this with the first inning. Everything should be fresh in your mind. It's like it's like they just go to the plate and brain lock. I don't know what it is. I don't think it's that necessarily. I think we have to come to the conclusion. You know what? This is not a real good lineup. Like, I don't think this is an issue of lineup construction more than anything else. But it's just not that good.
Yeah, I mean, they got a $25 million right fielder who is hitting a legit 196.
Yep.
I mean, he has earned every single bit of that 196. So, yeah, like, again, the guys that, the front office was saying they were counting on to do a bunch of things has, you could quite frankly, and up to this point, I mean, I guess things could change showing up tomorrow and, a couple of dudes that matter in that lineup start doing some things special.
Yeah, but we've been saying that.
But as of right now, it's, you are what you look like. And right now they look like a team that's 3 games under 500 and a bazillion out of first place in the American League East.
416-870-0590, star 591, 888-666-0590, 3-1. The Cleveland Guardians have beaten the Blue Jays in the first game of a 3-game series at the Rogers Center. Cade Smith's pretty good. The Canadian dude. It's pretty good. How come we don't get guys like that?
I mean, if you notice, the Jays pitching's not the problem.
No, but we don't. But I'm saying this organization.
This hit.
Well, no, but this organization. We're still throwing it. Well, it's not like the bullpens. It's not like this bullpen's been great. They're still throwing a bunch of guys against the wall here.
If they were scoring more runs, the defense could hide the woes that's running out of the pen.
I don't know.
I mean, let's be honest.
I wouldn't mind seeing them. I wouldn't mind seeing the system fart out 1 or 2 of those guys.
Good
I
for
really
Cade,
wouldn't.
But the last thing you can argue and yell and scream about's the pitches.
I can yell and scream about the bullpen. The bullpen's not very good.
Well,
Damn right I can.
It's
not very good. It's not why they lost, but it's not very good. Sure, I can scream about the bullpen. Sure, I can wonder where all these arms are. Every spring training, I hear about all these arms. Oh, they've got depth this year. They didn't have depth last year. Boy, they've got depth this year. I don't see any depth. I just don't. Anyhow, let's take a break and come back. We'll get to Jason in Thornhill, Gary in Vancouver. Sorry, Brian, I just don't. Where's this magical depth?
What'd you say? Fart out depth? What?
No, I said fart out a couple of guys that can throw hard. I mean, everybody else has them.
What's the matter with you?
Everybody else has them, and they're running out, the ghost of Tim Mesa in games. Anyhow, 416-870-0590, star 591, 888-666-0590. We'll take a break and come back on the other side. It's Blue Jays Talk on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
We're 2 men in a truck, the movers who care. You never know when cardiac arrest can happen. That's why each and every one of our trucks carries a life-saving Mikey defibrillator as part of our Mikey on Board program. Whether we're on the highway or in front of your house, we're prepared to help anyone whose heart may skip a beat. The Mikey Network has saved many lives, making Mikey's accessible to the public. And now they're on board our trucks. We're 2 men in a truck.
2 men and a truck, the movers who care.
Bring it in, Canada. When it comes to small business, Desjardins is a big fan. And not just the hop-on-the-bandwagon fan. We're the in-it-for-the-long-haul fan. The fan that's been there from the start. That's why Desjardins awarded 150 entrepreneurs with Good Spark grants worth $20,000 each. Because like any fan, there's nothing we love more than celebrating a goal!
See how Desjardins is cheering on small business at goodsparkgrants.ca.
Not tomorrow, not someday. The home improvements begin today. It's game on with Timber Mart. Build that deck, raise that fence, landscape till your property is beautiful. Don't pay for 12 months on the Timber Mart deferred payment program. your locally owned, completely Canadian hub of building and renovation expertise. Get your Timber Mart credit card at participating locations and pay later, 12 months later. Conditions apply. Ask in store for details or apply at timbermart.ca.
So Blue Jays fans, you want to know about salsa? Salsa is more than dancing. It's more than music. Salsa is the passion and spirit that is at the core of the beautiful cultures of Latin America. The Blue Jays are bringing salsa to the ballpark on June 27th. Be one of the first 15,000 fans in attendance and receive a Blue Jays chip and dip bowl. Celebrate salsa and create core memories with your Blue Jays. It's salsa night. For tickets, visit bluejays.com. Right, Vladdy?
Everybody salsa.
Hi, I'm Buck Martinez, live from the showdown between pizza, and inflation. First to the plate, with over 2 million sold, it's Fixed Rate Pizza, a hot and fresh extra-large 4-topping pizza for a fixed price of $17.99 until the end of 2024. Here's the delivery. And inflation strikes out. That's a swing and a drive for Fixed Rate Pizza. Lock in yours today.
Order pizza.ca. This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Kiermaier going back to the wall. He leaps and he made the catch.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
All right, back to the phone lines on Blue Jays Talk. Jason in Thornhill.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hi, Jason. How you doing?
Probably the same as you. I'd like to thank you guys because this show is very cathartic. I think for all Blue Jays fans.
Well, I'm here to be cathartic.
I think everybody watching this game tonight would have known that the 21 and 22 teams would have hung 10 on the sky in the first 3 innings. I mean, it's just it's beyond, the offense is beyond anything. And really what I had called in to say, other than quickly mentioning that I think Ross whiffed so badly with the Teo and Lourdes trades that you just can't recover from that. And I think the ramification of that we're seeing right now. I think he had some big, huge trade chips. He undervalued them and overvalued what he was getting, and the combination is going to leave us in bad shape for years to come. But ultimately, what I really want to ask you guys, and maybe hopefully you can speak to it a little bit, is I think this organization is really run by Mark Shapiro and overall, and I think his philosophy and the people that he hires who have deference to him and owe their allegiance to him, I think really don't have much say in what goes on. And I think you can even see that in the first move he made was fire the future executive of the year and one of the brightest minds in baseball. And AA was smart enough to know he didn't want any part of this situation. And I think as long as Mark Shapiro was running the show, I think you're going to have a problem. I think Rogers has to really take a serious look at what's happening, what is happening to this franchise and to the fan base that comes and is loyal. Forget about the renovations. That's all great. But if the product is horrible, the people eventually won't come. And it's going to be a serious situation if Mark Shapiro is left to run this organization. And I just want to hear what you guys would think about that.
Thank you very much for the call, Jason. Where to begin? Where to begin with that? Look, in terms of revenue streams, and I know the fans really aren't interested in revenue streams right now, but again, trust me, it's important. And I'm speaking as someone who remembers when this team didn't have any revenue streams, much to think of, or many revenue streams, I should say, to hang their hat on. That is important. Whether or not people like it, renovating the Rogers Center was absolutely vital to the financial well-being of this franchise.
They had to.
It was. It was. It was a necessity because you were getting to a point where you're either going to have a discussion about building a new ballpark. We were going to have that discussion. The Rogers Center couldn't exist the way it was. It just couldn't. Not the way baseball revenue is generated these days. So I would always caution people not to undersell Mark's role in that and his impact in getting that done. When you work for a publicly traded company, you're balancing a lot of things. And I mean, that's just the nature of the business. I'm not saying anything against anybody. It is what it is. And Mark's been very good at that. On the field, it's always been a subject of some debate, Kevin, because Mark is such an all-encompassing person. And I think it's always been kind of a debate about how much, like, where does his say end and where does it begin? Like, I don't think a big contract is signed without Mark signing off on it. I don't think a big trade is made without his input. But I think a lot of the other stuff, quite frankly, he just doesn't.
Around the edges.
Yeah, he doesn't get involved. He doesn't get involved in it.
Yeah.
And I got to say this. The Lourdes Gurriel / Moreno trade for Dalton Varsho, one, it looks better than it did last year. But two, to me, the issue wasn't so much what you got in return. It's that you gave up 2 everyday pieces to get one sort of everyday piece, and you didn't replace the other everyday piece. In fact, you made it worse by taking another guy, Teoscar Hernandez, and getting rid of him. So I guess that's where I stand on it. I mean, in terms of WAR and things of that nature, I think Dalton Varsho's been a fine acquisition. I just don't know if I would have given up 2 everyday players to get him.
Yeah, I would think the front office is a team, right? You act like a team, you speak like a team, you do things as a team. So, when it doesn't work out, you blame the team, right? I think when you're talking about trading all 3 of them, how would you do that? Like, I guess you could trade 2 of the 3, but all 3? It's mind-boggling.
John Schneider was asked about George Springer's year, and we've got a clip from that.
Yeah, I think with George, there's definitely some bad luck involved with George's season. And I think, you walk your first at bat. Just kind of, he's missing his pitches. Again, it's not for lack of effort, for intent, for prep. One of those stretches that everyone kind of goes through. I know no one puts more pressure on themselves than probably George, and a few of our guys in the lineup. But there's been some underlying things that have been really encouraging about his at-bats lately. And, again, George is a huge part of what we're doing here. So you gotta count on him that he's going to turn it around, and he's done that his whole career.
Just to follow up on George, you said that there's some bad luck that you've seen involved with his season. What specifically is there anything that kind of that makes you say that?
Yeah, just watching his at bats. With hitting balls hard at people. Again, George is one of the best players in the league. Has been one of the best players in the league for the majority of his career. And we're gonna count on him to be productive. So it's a tough stretch for sure. But I think, again, you're a few months into it, and I think early on you can look back and see, if a hit falls here or there, the numbers look pretty different. So it's all about taking it one day at a time, one at bat at a time. He's just been kind of missing his pitches. I don't want to say he's been unlucky the whole year, but pitches that he usually handles, he hasn't done that consistently.
I mean, God love John Schneider because he stood up for his guy right there.
Man,
I got to tell you, I sure as hell wouldn't have done that.
I would love to have a manager when I played that had my back like John's got George's back. I mean, the bottom line is the dude's hitting 196 with 14 RBIs. I mean, I don't know how any other way that you can shake it. I mean, he's hitting 7th. I guess that bad. How do you have bad luck hitting 196? Bad luck is going from like 250 to 230. That's bad luck.
Yeah.
Not hovering around 200, and now you're under the Mendoza line. Like most people wouldn't play every day. Let's be honest. Like, it's facts. I'm assuming if they'd had better options or other options that they could fill in the blanks with in right field, I would think they'd do it. I mean, where their team's at and the way they're not scoring runs, Jeff, I would think sooner than later you got to address that, and you got to start seeing some productive at bats, not the bad luck at bat and the
I don't know where you
hopper
go
to shortstop. Like,
I don't know what you do because you're still on the hook for $60-odd million. I just
and yeah, that doesn't mean you have to play him every day.
Well, there is that. Gary in Vancouver.
You got me?
I got you, Gary. You got us? Jeez, I can't yell any louder.
I don't think he does have us.
You okay there, Gary?
You okay, bud? Gary.
Fire the manager. Fire the general manager. No, just hear me out for. Give me.
Let's hear it, man. Yeah, we'll hear you because no one's brought this up yet. So come on, let's go.
Let's do it.
My father was the executive director of purchasing for a major hotel, the Hotel Vancouver, and he walked into. I remember he walked into the kitchen, and he because I wasn't served, and he fired the whole kitchen. That's what we got to do because, as far as I'm concerned, you just watched garbage. And I just told the producer, thank you.
Yeah, but hold on, Gary, just hang on.
What?
If your dad fired the whole staff, who the hell cooked dinner that night? Like, if I'm a guest at that hotel, I'm pissed. I'm not going to be ordering out from some place.
No. They waited 1 hour, and the kitchen was completely done. That's how he did it.
Okay, I appreciate.
And by the way, my father did it for 25 years. He was no dummy.
Okay, he didn't. You didn't fire people for 25 years.
Yes, he did.
Oh my God. Yeah, maybe we should get him in here. Thanks, Gary. Appreciate it. Gary in Vancouver. There you go.
Put him down for undecided.
Yeah, I'll put him down. Mark him down. Undecided. Gary. Remind me not to. I should have found out the name of the hotel. Well, of course, his dad's not there anymore. But firing the whole staff. I mean, yeah, all kidding aside, I think Gary probably speaks for the majority, to be honest, right now. I don't think there's a lot of love left. There's a lot of frustrated fans, and that's understandable.
A lot of expectations coming into the season.
There were a ton of expectations coming this season. But, hey, you know what the best thing is, Kevin?
There's always tomorrow.
There's always tomorrow. And Sunday. And Monday. And Tuesday. And Wednesday. And Thursday. 3-1, the Blue Jays have lost to the Cleveland Guardians. Don't panic, folks. They get to do it again tomorrow. Thank you for listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by the local family-owned Crown Rust Control Centers. Tomorrow is Wash for a Wish Day. Say that fast. At participating Crown locations across the country. Every year, Crown Centers across Canada hand wash vehicles for $10 with 100% of the proceeds going to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Canada. Crown invites you to get your vehicle washed tomorrow and help make a difference for critically ill children across Canada. Find your local...
This has been Major League Baseball play-by-play on SiriusXM and the SiriusXM app.
Why do I love calling this game?
Calling this game.
Calling this game.
Calling this game.
Why do I love calling this game? It's because I get a chance to bring some joy into people's lives.
Anything can happen on a baseball field.
We've got a new game! It's perfectly unscripted theater.
Everybody on their feet! Because you never know what you're going to see on a given day.
It is bedlam in the bank as Bryce Harper has put the Phillies on top!
There's just something about baseball on the radio.
Something about the way wood hits leather.
A swing and a drive to deep left center!
The way leather hits dirt.
And he made a play!
The way a deep fly ball sounds like it's about to change history.
High fly ball to center field. It's hit pretty well toward the wall. Until the cleats hit the grass, hit the crushed brick, and then nothing but sky and a silent crowd.
That ball is high.
Until leather hits leather and 40,000 fans lose their collective minds.
In a perfect symphony of chaos.
He jumped up on top of the wall, balanced himself, and caught it.
The way nothing triumphs a perfectly honest call.
The way the right voice can make a moment live forever.
Touch 'em all, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life.
Outsiders may think this is just two teams.
The ball, a bat, and a microphone. But no.
For over 100 years, this has been the soundtrack of the American pastime.
He struck it out looking. It's over. It's over. The Rangers have won the World Series.
The soundtrack of summer. This is Major League Baseball on the radio.
Right now on SiriusXM.
All rise.
Coming in 5.
Get ready to play. 4.
Get up. Get up.
3.
Can you believe it? Put your seatbelt on.
Wow. Talk about the game and all the stories on MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM 89, and the SiriusXM app.
20 p.m. Atlanta Braves take on the Tampa Bay Rays. Braves on Sirius 119, XM 180, and Internet 841. Rays on Internet 866. 8:10 p.m. Minnesota Twins take on the Oakland A's. Twins on Sirius 139, XM 183, and Internet 856. A's on Internet 859. 8:10 p.m., Milwaukee Brewers take on the Cincinnati Reds. Brewers on Sirius 138, XM 182, and Internet 855. Reds on Internet 846. 8:10 p.m., Houston Astros take on the Detroit Tigers. Astros on Sirius 137, XM 181, and Internet 850. Tigers on Internet 859. 8:40 p.m., Colorado Rockies take on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Rockies on Sirius 161, XM 184, and Internet 848. Pirates on Internet 861. 9:40 p.m., Arizona Diamondbacks take on the Chicago